Good afternoon, sports fans. It's your friendly neighborhood Paul here, bringing you the next episode of Nostalgia on the Rocks, where myself and my lovely co-host sit down and talk about the games of old, the games of new, and everything in between. And I'm joined by my partner in crime, the Tetris champion of the world, probably Oliver. How you doing, my man?
I think I figured out my camera problem. Did you guys know that there's a Discord app? That it's not just the website you go to? You don't just go to discord.com. There's an actual app you can download, and it's Discord, like, in its own fucking window. Like, I found that out yesterday.
Good lord.
Yesterday.
I love you.
You have been streaming for how long?
Coming up a year.
We have been doing. You have a Discord. Like, you have a fully running, functioning Discord. You mean to tell me you've been doing that all through the online site?
No, I mean, I do it all through my phone, because I never go on a computer,
Oh.
because computers are,
The TurboTax
disgusting.
machines, yeah, they're gross.
Absolutely, they're boring. They're like, I don't want to go on there. There's drivers to update. I don't know what that means. I just do it all
You're
on my
not
phone.
wrong. You're not wrong.
What the hell's a
my-
driver?
The hell? Like
I mean,
in golf?
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta
Like
do.
UPS?
it's the little man behind the wheel of your PC. It's insane.
But
yeah,
that's what
so
they,
we're
that's what they call the. Yeah, that's what they call the hamster. When that hamster gets tired, you gotta upgrade them to the new one.
Yeah.
Throw it in
so-
the garbage. Get a new hamster.
Yeah, Discord app. It's mad, absolutely mad.
I love you, Oliver. I love you so much. I love how that was
Unreal.
the issue. We were talking about, like, oh, well, maybe, I'll change something on my end, or like, oh, maybe, you upgrade your internet, this and that. And it's just like, yeah, I just needed the app. It's like,
Just got to do it right.
and of course, if you guys don't know who these two lovely gents are underneath us in our first 4-person podcast, well, that is none other than Co-op Comedy's own Robert, Highwind, and RoboDessert. How you guys doing?
Hello.
What's going on?
Doing well.
everybody?
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much.
Well, I figured. See, there was 2 things for this. Also at the start of the show,
Paul.
I do need to say, unfortunately, we were gonna have Rumble Pack on this week. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it due to, I think he said he had to pull some chicken out of the freezer to thaw, and he wouldn't be able to make it. So, unfortunately, we'll get him in here another time, though. But I
One
also
day.
figured
One day.
that you guys, I wouldn't be able to get you guys separately, or if I did get it separately, I was like, who do I favor, and then just make a joke out of not having the other one on. Very similar to Rumble Pack and how we had Al Bob on from Waypoint, and now it's like, okay, we got to get everybody else and save Rumble, or just never have Rumble on. Or if we do have him on, it's just gonna be like a photo of him and just say, yeah, sorry guys, it's just me and Oliver today. Rumble couldn't make it.
We're saving Rumble for that 1000th episode spectacular.
Yeah, 1,000 episode spectacular, which will be taking place.
Just an image of raw chicken that he has to thaw.
He'd show up in the chat like, I'm right here.
I'm here. What do you mean?
You keep cropping him off like.
Oh
I
man.
love it.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I'm so glad we were able to set this time for you guys to come in here, because obviously you guys have been doing a lot of stuff with YouTube, and then obviously with just like your Twitch channels in general. I figured this would be a phenomenal time to kind of come in and talk about bullshit. But of course, obviously it is nostalgia on the rocks. So most of us are going to have ourselves a lovely little drink, if not all of us. So starting us off, as always, probably Oliver, what's in your glass today?
It's a return from last episodes, although now the bottle is looking a lot more anemic, a little emptier. It is the Viva tequila, which has been keeping me going for a couple of weeks now, and this stuff is the best tequila I have ever drunk. Like, by far, it is beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I have opened and closed this bottle so often now that there is barely a pop when it comes to the plug, but
That's
we'll
sad.
try our best. We'll try our best.
Love the design of the bottle.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's cool, right? It's cool.
Yeah,
It lures you into a full sense of security of like, hey, you've
Yeah.
not drunk that much. Oh shit, you've drunk a lot.
I like that.
Don't
Funny
look.
enough, that doesn't look like any tequila bottle I've seen here in America. 'Cause that looks like a whiskey.
Yeah, that's the thing. It
Bottle.
looks like a whiskey bottle, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I now need to go. I forgot last time. I think it's still sitting in my Amazon cart. I'm like, yeah, I just need to buy this. Just need to buy this.
Fully recommend. Fully recommend.
Because the nice thing about being in the UK, you can just buy booze on Amazon because that's a
That's
thing.
crazy.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah, because you're allowed to be 18 over here and start drinking. Versus stateside where it's like, yeah, you're gonna be 21 to do anything. Like, all right,
I always
cool.
like when you get deliveries from Amazon, like for booze, they always ask for like ID, regardless of how old you are or how old you look. But the last time it was around Christmas time that I had like a couple of bottles of booze delivered. I had like a hoodie on, like I I didn't look like a particular grown up at the time. And like I answered the door and the dude was like, "Oh, have you got your ID?" I went, "Oh shit, my wallet's in the other room." He went, "Ah, it's all right," and just handed me this bottle of booze. I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah."
I have never once been asked for my ID when they drop off booze. Like, it's always just been like, yep, there you go. Now, whether it's just because I open the door and they're just like, yeah, this guy needs it, I don't know. We'll just move on from there. Robert, what is in your glass today?
Well, let me tell you, it is a noon over here. So this glass has iced coffee in it. However, I also have 2 little bottles of Screwball, just in case. Clink,
God,
clink.
yeah, we're gonna talk about your.
Just in case we got to get a little
We're gonna
crazy.
talk about your screwball obsession.
Good lord.
Good lord, indeed. And then Robo, what's in your glass?
Well, I have something that some people might judge me for, but I've become a big fan of in quarantine, which I have some rum in a White Claw.
Oh,
Mixologist, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna need you to run that with me. Run that through one time. What kind of rum and what kind of White Claw?
It's a Cuban rum. Don't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Spiced
But
or
white rum, very smooth,
oh,
delicious.
Wait, that's a white rum?
Mm-hmm. And then the White Claw is an iced tea with lemon.
Okay. Okay.
Iced tea with lemon. I
fancy.
like this combo.
It's fancy. I just I guess that I don't know. When I saw you hold the glass up, I'm like,
that, right?
that's not white rum. I was like, are you mixing spiced rum with? I was like, what on God's green earth?
Getting wild over here.
Just that's
America's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a college. That's like a college thing where it's just like, or a military dorm thing where it's just like, I need a mixer and I don't have any. I just got to mix booze with more booze to hopefully dilute the booze. All right, send it.
Yeah.
Have you named this drink?
No, not yet. But
Captain
I've done
White
a lot
Claw.
of variants of it with various alcohols and various White Claws. So I'll workshop it.
Captain Quarantine. There you go.
Yar.
The quarantine claw.
And
Oh,
today I have a lovely bottle of Glen Grant 12 year. Never had this one. Still sealed.
looks adult.
Yeah, adult as fuck. As I jack up the.
Oh, we could curse. Perfect.
Yeah, you can swear. Fuck that.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, oh,
Glad to see some people watch our content. Glad to see that the fakeness does not end nearly at your own channels.
It was mainly a joke. I'm pretty sure I knew that you guys cussed.
And I want you to know that I did not actually mean. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll get into the personas and all that stuff. But first, we got to pop the cork.
This is a good Christian podcast. Okay,
Good Christian podcast
where you can say fuck.
Yeah, absolutely, like a good Christian boy.
There's swearing in the Bible.
Love the Lord.
I'm sure. But ladies and gentlemen, sports fans around the world, thank you guys so much for being here with us today. I hope you guys are having yourself a good day. And if you're not having a good day, well, try to make it a good day, all right? So,
Try your best.
y'all.
Cheers.
Friends.
See, you can't cheers with freaking coffee. It's not polite. Cheers.
I thought you were just gonna down that whole little bottle.
Oh, you mean like this?
You were like, all right, cool. We're doing this. We're doing this.
It's
Bam.
Saturday.
I haven't eaten anything.
So
Just
spoiler alert. I work overnights, so typically speaking, I will go to bed at like 10 o'clock. We'll wake up about 5-ish. Today I passed out at about noon, woke up at 7:30, which is roughly about 30 minutes before we started this bad boy. So I have not actually eaten anything since
Oh,
about
no.
3 in the morning yesterday. So we out here.
I'm liking where this is headed.
It's
Oh, yeah,
gonna
this is
be
gonna
a
be
good
It's going to be
episode.
a great
Let's
episode.
get into it.
Let's
So
get
the
into it.
so right now we have a Google Doc for like what we're doing and kind of so that way people can come in and have a general idea. And so right now we're going to start off before we get into the goofs, the tangents, the why the hell do we do certain characters, what bits stuck, this, that, and the other. We're going to talk about obviously some games because it is nostalgia on the rocks. So let's go, Robo. Start with you. What have you been playing recently?
Okay, I just finished Biomutant, and by that I mean
That is a
I have
glowing
played as much
review if I have ever heard one. I just finished that game.
finished it in that I am no longer going to continue playing,
Okay, I'm
regardless
fucking
of
done with
how
it.
much is left. I really liked the game when it came out. I know the reviews were mild, but I was like, I'm enjoying this. It's right up my alley. But there's just no story. There's just like the story is there, but it's just not good. And so I've played as much of the game as I can without something to support it. And so moving
I
on.
swear,
Been playing a lot of Knockout City.
I jumped in Robo's like Twitch channel while he was playing Biomutant like 4 days ago, and I was like, "How are you finding Biomutant, buddy?" He was like, "Good game, loving this game."
It
Like,
flipped
what
quick.
changed?
It did. Well, because it was a couple days ago we were playing and we started talking about like Mass Effect and like Fallout and like these other games that have these incredible stories. And as I was playing Biomutant, I was just like, game has no story. Wait a minute. It was like the curtain had been pulled back, and I was like, "Wait a minute," because
Hold up.
I enjoyed the gameplay, but it couldn't sustain itself for as long as the game is. So I did one of the main quests and said goodbye.
Wow.
But real excited to see what the developers do in the future because for the first game, not bad, not bad at all.
Yeah.
But now I'm playing a lot of Knockout City, a lot of Knockout City.
Not once I've been diving into it off and on. Like typically it's one of those things like I'm not gonna solo queue in that because no thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like when you jump in with a group of people and you just can kind of like goof about, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Then Robert, you're giving the thumbs up at the Knockout City. What have you been playing?
I was down. I just have a bit going where I hate the game. Called it the next Hyperscape. It's gonna die in 6 months. Don't worry about it.
How can
Don't
you
get too
hate
attached, y'all.
Knockout City? Knockout City is a fun time. Have I
That's
played since the
stupid.
free weekend? No, but is it a fun time? It's a fun time.
All right, bit aside, I do enjoy playing with friends. I just like crapping on it just because sometimes it's fun to be the heel.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, I know. Oh, I
oh
know.
yeah. So it's like you can't always be positive. Sometimes you just gotta get in there and just get real negative.
Just get
Unleash
real
the demons.
negative in there.
Just get real
Explore this
negative. and just hate- yeah. Everyone's liking this. You know what? I'm gonna hate it. Just see what happens.
Yeah.
I just finished Control about like 2 weeks ago, something like that. Loved the game. That was one of the
Good
most
game.
amazing games I've ever played. Immediately jumped in my like top probably 5 games I've ever experienced. Gameplay, story, just all of it really connected with me, vibed. Loved it. Loved it. Can't say anything bad about it. And then I started BioShock, the first one. Never played it. My history with BioShock is I played Infinite first, and loved it a lot.
Okay.
And everyone that I've talked to who enjoys the BioShock franchise says, "Oh, one's better, one's better." So I'm like, so I always had it in the back of my mind, I'm gonna play it. Started playing it. I like it. Don't know if I like it as much though, which is weird. And I don't know if that's because I played Infinite first. I don't know if if I played BioShock 1 first, I would like it more than Infinite because I would hate the changes or something like that. I don't know. But the whole world is cool. The story's cool. But I like the Infinite, like the light aspect of it. Like it's a lot brighter. The world isn't dead essentially because like BioShock is just like you're alone there with all the crazies.
Yep.
So I like when a world I can explore and like see people living in there, and then shit goes crazy, shit hits the fan, and you're like, oh my god, like I like that aspect of it a lot more. Besides that, I just started Backbone. You're a Fox detective. It's 2D, jazz, noir, all of it. I love all that. And it's pretty dope.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, it's a what? Like, nah, it's Fox Detective. Don't ask questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said fox. I meant raccoon.
Okay, I was
Sorry.
like, I was gonna say I could have swore that was a raccoon, but at the same time,
yeah.
I was lurking, so I might have just been crazy and like.
Yeah.
Just
No,
a-
you're right. It was a raccoon. Total raccoon. I dig it. I love noir. It's like one of my favorite like genres of things. The whole detective PI type stuff. Love that. And then on the side, I'm playing a Borderlands pre-sequel with Tara. A little bit here and there whenever we get the chance to. That's
I-
about it.
I
And I
love-
love Borderlands.
Yeah, I love that game, and I'm upset that I did not love 3 as much as I love that game.
Mm.
Now I don't know.
I haven't played 3 yet.
Yeah, 3 is not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I think I ruined it for myself because I was playing it on stream and I was trying to get through that game so quick so that way I wouldn't get hit with
Right.
spoilers. And it was just
I
like,
see.
all right.
Yeah.
Versus when I played
One thing I
2, like-
noticed.
Yep.
No, go ahead.
I was just like
That's what you
versus 2 where I was just like playing it my own. I was doing the side stuff. I was goofing.
Right. 2 is so good though. Oh my
2
god.
is
Love 2.
best in the series, hands down.
I
would
love
say 3
Torque
has really
so
good
much.
gameplay, but Torque.
Oh my god, he's just Macho Man Randy Savage in the apocalypse, just screaming at you. Oh my god, I'm insecure by myself. Like what? I love him.
Where man?
It's so
What a
good. One thing I noticed that I want to bring up, I don't know if anyone else has played both like 2 and then pre-sequel and or 3. There's like a shift between the skill sets of each character from being like weapon specific to just being general, and then you can use whatever weapons you want. I don't know how much I like that. I like being like Mr. Sniper, and then all my stuff is sniper related power-ups. So I don't know how I feel about this.
Fair
I'm
enough.
I'm struggling.
Struggling right now. Yeah, because you,
Struggling.
as I say, you picked for the sniper. That would have been. Oh yeah, you're the ice lady then. Right?
Mordecai, and then well, in the first game it was Mordecai, in the second game it was Zero, the robot.
Mm-hmm.
And in pre-sequel, I don't know if it's the Ice Lady. I just picked. Who did I pick? I picked Claptrap.
Oh,
Mhm.
all right. You picked the joke character. You picked
Yeah.
the one that they were like, okay, we need to make this
I'm
a
on
playable
brand.
character. Like we need to make it because I remember listening to some interviews about it. It was like they were like, how do we make Claptrap a good character, but also make him bad? Like we get
Yeah.
like you can't make Claptrap awesome because then it's
Mhm.
like he's garbage and everything else. So like it just looks
Mhm.
weird. But then you got to make him a playable character, otherwise no one's gonna care and no one's gonna want to play him.
Right.
So yeah, like they had to do this weird balancing act, which is why his power up is like a roulette wheel of like,
Yeah,
is it
it's
gonna be
random as
cool
hell.
or is it gonna be a dud?
Mhm.
It's so random, and I love his skill trees. Like one of them's all about friendship. It's just
Yeah.
like friends. I love friends. I love having friends, and it's all like just like power ups to your friends. I was like, cool. I'm going to that one. I love friends.
Nailed it.
But one more quick thing. I love that when you pick them, at least 4 times it asks you if you're sure. I clicked on him and he's like, "Are you sure you want to be Claptrap?" There's like a whole like 2 lines about it. I was like, "Yes." Okay, but like seriously, are you 100%? I was like, "Yes." And it's like I just had to go, "Yes, yes, yes." It was like
It's
a
like, are
freaking-
we like? Look, I understand you think you want to be Claptrap, but like, are
Yeah.
you like?
It's so funny.
Now the nice thing about Claptrap is though, because in the pre-sequel you're on the moon, so you have to like bounce between
Mhm.
different oxygen spots. Claptrap doesn't. There's like one bit where he's like choking. He's like, I
Yeah.
need air, even though I don't breathe. It's like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
it's so funny. It's so stupid. It makes no
feel
sense. It is
like
the best.
From like 2 to the pre-sequel and then into 3, like 2 and the pre-sequel had such like this very distinct personality about them that 3 sort of lost somehow. Because I always say that
Mm.
3 had the best gameplay, but some of the weakest writing and humor overall.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't know, there's just something that it felt like they tried to make 3 really cool, but in doing so, they like lost some of the, I don't want to say like heart or something that the other games had, but they had this very distinct personality about them that some are just.
Oh,
I
that's
always feel like
interesting.
Borderlands 3 sort of lent into the meme a little too much. Kind of,
Mm-hmm.
it was too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
much of a good.
Yeah.
We had
People
that,
were
and
waiting
then,
a lot for it.
and then they were like they were trying to tie like everything together. So it's like, okay, well, obviously you have everybody from 1 and 2. You have the people from the pre-sequel come in, and then you also have the Tales from the Borderlands people making an appearance in there.
Yeah.
And so it's like they were like, yeah, we need to tie it all together. We need to make it all make sense. Like, oh, okay, sure, send it. Why not? Have some fun.
Now,
Which one
Tales from the
game
Borderlands,
really-
that's a good game.
I
Good game.
Really?
did not
Oh, I love that
expect
game.
to enjoy that game as much as I did.
Wow.
Did not expect.
I
to
would
enjoy
not
that
expect
game.
that.
Yeah, because I mean that's the thing. It's a Telltale's game. It's it's a choose your own adventure book, but it's actually like really fun, really solid, and you're in that world, but you're with characters that are detached from what you did in 2. So
Mm.
it's like, and they'll do like little cameos of certain characters, but it's like their own story, and they can just kind of tell it and goof around with it, and then that also leads into 3 because the characters that are in 2 are in the Tales from Borderlands show up in 3.
Mm.
So pretty
There
cool.
there is a moment in Tales from the Borderlands that I genuinely think is the funniest moment in video games, period. Just ever. Like it is a moment that keeps on going for so long. It is like uh finger guns is the
Oh
way to describe it
God,
without kind of giving anything away for anyone. Like, Rob, if you've not played it before, like, play it. It's
Nah.
incredible, it's amazing, it's fantastic, but it's
it's
just
it
incredible.
doesn't take that long. Like that game, I mean, it's a Telltale's game, so it doesn't take too long to do, and you
Yeah.
can break it up by chapter.
All right, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely.
I do like with the Telltale games. I played through the first Batman.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I think it's so interesting the Telltale Borderlands game specifically because Borderlands is like they have some really cool stories, but like they're so focused on the gameplay in those games because it's like a looter shooter, so everything's
Yeah.
like action and shooting and all that. So you don't always get to really dive into the stories. Like you can listen to the echo logs and stuff, but it's something to focus. And then Telltale just like flips that, and it's like, yeah, here's this world, and now let's really explore the story in that world, and they really dive in.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
You
All
good
right,
over
cool.
there?
I'll
You
check it
having
out.
some technical difficulties there, Robo?
That was so funny, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, I was
one-
trying not to draw attention to it, but it was just like all of a sudden I'm focused on everybody talking. All of a sudden I just look over at Robo and like it's just his room is white and he's just
I've never seen his room white.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
like,
So I think for a second I thought I had a power outage, but then I was like, the main lights are still on, and I can still hear you guys. So clearly that's not it. And then I realized I have like a multi-outlet plugged in, and just that one part of the outlet got unplugged. So just the lights and this monitor
That's
that you guys are on. So I
hilarious.
couldn't see you guys for a second. So I
Oh.
couldn't tell how you guys were reacting.
I was laughing silently.
I'm like, Paul, don't interrupt them. Just let them finish their point on the talking, and then we will talk about Robo and his technical difficulties.
Come back to that.
All right, Oliver.
I love it.
What have you been playing?
I've been a bit in between games, like over the last couple weeks. I like myself and my fiance were away last week. Like we were supposed to be getting married, we didn't because of the world.
Because of
you're
the
okay,
world.
though.
Because of the
Yeah,
world. Let's
the
be
world.
very clear about that.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Everything's fine.
She went to Bermuda. She's gone.
But yeah, so we spent a few days like away, and like so I didn't really want to start anything before we went away. And then like since we got back, I've just been like busy with work and whatnot. Like so I've sort of touched into a few things, but the kind of big thing I've been playing, which I started last night, and I've only put in maybe 2.5 hours into so far, is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And oh boy, good game is good. Good game is good. It's
It looks phenomenal.
I'm
it's
really
beautiful.
glad you're enjoying a kid's game. Really glad you're enjoying.
You know what? If it's a kid's game, sign me the hell up right now.
That's just a joke. I made that joke offhandedly to I think it was like Billy the Door, where it was just like
Yeah.
he came in and was talking about it. I was like, I never played Ratchet and Clank. I played Jack and Daxter. This that like Ratchet and Clank just looked like another version of that. So I was like, I never got into it. And then like he kind of kept going on it, and I was just like, I mean, look, man, it's like, yeah, I get it. I mean, it's a little jump around, shoot things. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying the kids game. And then like from there, it spawned. Like now, it's like, no, it's a kids game. I have to say that now. I have to double down. Can't go back.
I love that you came on my stream and I was playing Fortnite. You're like, I just went watching a kid's game, now watching another kid's game.
Then you were just like, oh, we're big manly Paul, only plays
look at me,
manly
I'm
game.
I play shooters in the war zone and blah.
Well, I mean, you were running around as Batman, and then like I think Reaper was with you as like a rave, like somebody who looks like they just got back from
Something.
like a real messed up rave, like not even like a real rave, but like a Hollywood interpretation of a rave.
Yeah.
That's what he was dressed in. I was like, you're gonna try to tell me this isn't childish right now? You're playing as Batman.
Reaper looked like a character from a straight to DVD movie, and the character's name is Reaper, dressed like that.
And the movie
was
is about
perfect.
Fortnite. Like,
This
Yeah.
is a movie about Fortnite in Fortnite. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
I
And
don't-
honestly, for me, it's just
jealous.
been Mass Effect. It's just been
Yep.
Mass Effect. Like that's
Knowledge.
all. That's all it is. That's all it should be. That's all it will be for
I love
the
it.
next foreseeable. Lord only knows.
I had a moment in Mass Effect, like, because I did, like I said, like I've never played Mass Effect before. I've started the Legendary Edition, started like the first one. Really enjoyed the start of it, but that's when me and C went away for a few days, so like didn't really get a chance to jump into it. Jump back in when we got back earlier this week. I had the most frustrating moment that like made me like rage quit the game, and like I now need to get back to it. At the very start of the game, like you're at the Citadel. There is a supercomputer who's going to bomb everything, or gonna do something or other. Like you find the supercomputer. Like it's one of the little side quests on the Citadel.
Okay.
Went and found him, and he was like, "Oh, like yeah, I'm gonna do this thing that's gonna wipe out the Citadel, whatever." And I went, "Okay, well, I'm gonna stop it." And then I paused the game to try and like figure out where I was going, and then I got up and got a drink, not realizing that the timer was still counting down in the pause
Oh.
menu. And so then when I unpaused it, it was like the critical error, like boom, you're dead now. And I hadn't saved for a good 40 minutes or so, and
Yeah. That'll do it every single time.
It's
So-
incredible how devastating stuff that is in games.
Mhm.
Like going back to BioShock, I
Oh, yeah.
played BioShock 1 first, and I got like real close to the end, and then just somehow the entire save file got deleted. So I just
Jesus.
like I still don't know how, but I couldn't even bring myself to come back to it. I was like, I can't, and I never came back to it until earlier last year.
This is a sign. We're moving on.
It will
Just-
never play.
No.
I recently did something stupid like that where I accidentally hit quick load instead of quick save. Just loaded right back to where this game started. I was like, "Welp, sorry, chat. Here we go again."
Hope you guys like that because we're running it back.
Run
You
it
made
back.
better choices this time.
Yeah. Outside of that, I've been playing Call of Duty. I wrapped up the season pass of that because you
What
gotta
a
spend
beast.
your 1,000 COD points. You might as well finish out the thing. And I think it was Gunfire Reborn.
Yeah,
is what it's
everyone's been
called.
playing that.
That's the thing. I saw Risky playing it. I saw Reaper playing it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then like Percher was playing it one Sunday, and I was like, you know what? I think I have this in my wish list because every now and again I'll see people like, oh yeah, I'll add it to my wish list in the off chance like, hey, it's on sale for 10 cents on Steam. It's like,
Right.
all right, sure, let's get it. But then I was like, all right, well, why not? I'll download it. It's a cat. You run around, you shoot things, and that game is actually pretty fun when you got some people because it
Hmm.
reminds me like it feels kind of like a Borderlands roguelite is the best way I can kind of put it.
Oh,
Where it's just like
Okay.
a lot of ridiculous, like what the hell gun? Like one of the guns is a little like baby dragon. It's like a little baby dragon that just like
you
you
pull
just
the
shoot.
tail.
Not quite. You like squeeze it and then it shoots fireballs and then like I don't know how you reload it, but it's just like in your just bap, and you're like you have the characters are a cat, a dog, a bird, and a tiger. But they're all like little chibi versions, so it's just like a little
Mm.
cat, little dog, and like the dog's a Rottweiler, which I thought was kind of adorable. And then
Yeah,
like they all
well.
have like different powers and different setups, and
Love this.
like yeah, you just have like different damage types and all this stuff, and it's actually like a little fun thing, especially because it's all right, cool. Like let's just run it again, see what we get, see what happens. Like ba,
Yeah.
ba, ba.
Huh.
It's
Is
actually
it
been.
still in early
yeah.
access or is it full?
I
fully
think
released?
it's still early access. I'm not sure.
Because even if it's early, because I've seen a few people playing it, it looks great. It looks like a great time.
Yeah, and it's just one of those like little dumb little fun games. It's just like, all right, cool, let's jump into this. We got an hour to kill. Why not? We'll goof around and do a bunch of
Definitely gotta
nonsense.
try it out.
It's don't. There's no story. Let me just be that very clear. There's no story to it. It's just a roguelite. You just Spawn in. Why are you here? Because reasons.
Because murder.
Because the big
That's
pan.
the type
Because
of
the
game where you
big.
can have no story.
Yeah, because the big
Not
panda
violent.
bartender said go for it. I
Yeah. Love that.
think it's a panda at the bar. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, you're just like a little cat in a hat, like cat in a big hat. You're just like, all right, cool.
Puss in Boots from
That's all it is. Boots and boots, cat in a hat. There we go. Oh man. All right. That's actually, I think, the fastest we have gotten through it in like the last 3 episodes, which is shocking that we have more
We
people.
can
and
keep
we've
going,
got-
baby.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know,
can
but we
talk.
need to know because I want to get into what we're actually talking about. So, like the
We haven't even
burning
touched on
question.
co-op comedy games.
Oh God! All right. Yeah.
We don't
let's-
have to. It's
Well,
a lot.
no.
It's a lot.
There's a lot there. What the fuck is co-op comedy?
Whoa, baby, let me tell you what co-op comedy is. Let me tell you, you got
What?
one guy, you got another guy. You put them together, that's 2. That's co-op. You know what? The comedy with the ha-has, you play the video games and you make the jokes. And then you click on the videos and you watch the jokes and we're like, and then you go, and then you click the like button and the algorithm likes it.
And we keep doing it over and over and over and over and over.
You know
Every
that.
day, baby.
You know those. You know how you get those jokes that you just beam to the dirt. Yeah, we're that personified. We're just that dirt. Now we're pushing it all the
Same
way through
joke.
the dirt. We push it
we-
through the dirt out the other side, and now it's fresh again.
Exactly. It's very much subscribed to that level of humor where if you repeat a joke enough, it will stop
Yeah.
being funny, but eventually it'll start
It'll be
being funny
re-funny.
again.
And then it's another echelon. It's like Super Saiyan ascended. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You keep beating down Super Saiyan level 2 until you ascend. You're not at 3 yet, but you just ascended.
2.5. Super Saiyan 2.5.
So all of that is co-op comedy.
Yeah. Just me and him being doofuses with video games. It's a good
Oh.
time. I like it.
Yeah, because you guys.
Just
So
started
that's
playing games on
youtube.com/co-op comedy.
Yep.
Co-op comedy,
YouTube.com/co-op comedy.
co-opcomedy.com.
Co-opcomedy.com. I got the .com and I rerouted
got the-
it to the YouTube.
You got the dot. Ali, I think
baby.
I don't know if we can we do that. I don't
Yeah, I'm
know.
sure you can. I'll help you. We got it. It's
Nostalgia
easy,
on the
baby.
rock.
Hit
I mean,
that .com.
I'm genuinely amazed coopcomedy.com wasn't already a thing. And now
Me too.
I am convinced that nostalgiaontherocks.com probably is already a thing.
If it's
Like,
not,
we are...
if it's not, Robert's getting it right now and is then
Right.
going to leverage it, and then actually no, he's just gonna make it
Relink it to
redirect it
go
to
to
co-op.
co-op comedy.
It's gonna go immediately to co-op comedy and be like just
That is
like
the funniest goof.
nostalgia on the. He's gonna get nostalgiaontherocks.com, notr.com, like .net as well. I can see it in his eyes. His eyes are like, oh no, he caught on.
I'm Googling right now, baby.
Look, I'm not telling you guys how to run your stuff, but if you do sign up for the domain name, maybe have Paul sign up for it instead of Oliver, because then he'll know if there's an app for it that you can download.
Oh,
Got him.
oh.
Nailed him.
Yeah,
I will
bro.
say right now, nostalgiaontherocks.com available.
What about
And
correction?
purchased.
It's like it was. What about .xxx? Is that one available?
I don't know. Those domains are actually more expensive, I think. You can get a lot of different domains. You could get nostalgiarocks.gold.
Dot
Dot-
gold. Oh gosh.
There's so many domains. But yeah,
All right.
This
So
is basically co-op comedy, but switch out chatting with people and it's just us playing some dumb game.
basically.
playing a
Or
ridiculous.
some
game.
amazing game, but just some game.
Good games or bad games. Some bad games like Man of Medan. Some good games like Operation Tango.
Oh yeah, how did you like that voice acting in Man of Medan?
Oh
That,
Lord.
I have never heard anything so stilted
It was
in
so
my life.
it was just the dumbest game, but I want to keep playing it. It's like
So serious, and
Yeah.
I can't go with it at all.
it was like watching a C tier movie and then just dunking all over it.
Like a sci-fi
Yeah.
channel.
so
Sci-fi
bad.
original. There, Sharknado 7, Return of the
Yeah.
Return of the Hammerhead or some shit.
Right, yeah. Sharknado versus Octopus Army or whatever the hell.
Mega Sharknado versus Ultra Octopus.
yeah.
And,
2.
2. That's right. That's right.
Cool.
The funny thing is because of my job, I do see these movies occasionally coming in.
Oh god. Yeah, which
So
we
don't-
still don't know what your job is. There's still a lot of
No one will
debate in the
know.
community about what your job is. There's a lot of people who think you're an accountant.
That's my wife.
It's related.
Oh my god.
I was referring to accountants in the TikTok variety or the internet accountants, not the actual profession of accountant.
Different.
Which is why when you, if you don't know what that is, look up just TikTok accountant, and you'll see why that joke is now way funnier about what the, like, what is the term TikTok accountant, and then just kind of peruse that and figure out why.
Oh, now I know what it means. Good lord.
So
why is that the word for it in TikTok?
Why? Because because no one's gonna ask you a follow-up question. What do you do? I'm an accountant. Where do you work? A place where accountants work. Don't like stop asking questions. I'm an accountant.
Most boring thing.
That's so funny.
And so that's why you were just like, no, that's my wife. It's like
I was totally not understanding any of that. Sorry, wife.
I can tell you what Robert Highwind isn't a Tetris champion.
That is true. That is true.
That's something he could not get paid for.
Now there is a distinct reason why I put Robert underneath me and Robo underneath you, is because I know if I put you both on that side, it's not gonna end. Like you two would just, I imagine you two would just start bickering. Like you guys
have done that.
That's
co-op comedy.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm just like, I'm putting you guys in opposite corners, so that way it's not as easy to be like, hey, you are bad.
High five.
There you go. There it is.
Hey Robo, I'm gonna hand you something, right, man? Here you go. Ooh.
Oh, I got it.
Pull it from the other side. There we go.
There you go, man.
Stretching my arm over here, and then.
Okay, see now
Hope you enjoy that pen.
This just leans right into our burning question of the day, which is, what are bits that you didn't think would work that end up working phenomenally? So, because we all have random things that just you assume are a one-off, you assume it's just going to be a dumb thing. And then here we are months later where it's still a thing and it's still happening and you don't know why. And I want to start off with Oliver on this one. So what is something that is you didn't think would stick, but has now stuck around way longer than you thought it would?
It's Tetris. Shockingly. Tetris is
the king.
Tetris has come to sort of define like my channel, like to a degree, and a lot of people ask me about Tetris. I would leave them nameless. Someone has asked me for private Tetris tutoring lessons.
Whoa. It's me. After I took that whooping.
I was like, no, I'm not. No, I don't want to do that. Like, just get good, scrub is like basically what I said. Like, that's not really. It's like, but no, like, so yeah, it was around the launch of the like of next gen, so around about November last year. And one of the games that came out day and date for the Xbox Series S and X was Tetris Connected, Tetris Effect Connected. And a channel that like a community I'm part of on Twitch, Dave Against the Games, he was playing it on Xbox, and I said like, oh dude, this is making me want to play Tetris again. I really like Tetris. I'll challenge you to a game right now. He was like, cool, jump in. And I absolutely fucking wiped the floor with him. Never intended to. It wasn't me hustling. It wasn't me trying to be like, you know, trying to be the big man. I destroyed him. And then I went, oh shit. No one's that like I'm really, really good at Tetris. I thought everyone was as good as I am at Tetris. I thought Tetris was quite an easy game to be good at. Turns out, no. People do not play Tetris well. It is very, very intricate. Like, and that's when I kind of realized, oh shit, I'm really good at Tetris. And so since then, like I've played a lot of Tetris on my channel, and like, yeah, the amount of kind of like, I mean, yeah, me and Robert like played. We played a game of Tetris together. Like, we hyped it up for a while. That is the like. Robert Highwind is very good at Tetris. Like, he is.
Thank you, sir.
Very good at Tetris.
I'm okay.
I'm better. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm fucking
Be
better.
true.
I beat you into the dirt.
was there.
We
Yeah,
gotta have a
yeah,
rematch. That shit was
we
fun.
still well
That
that's the
would be
thing. We still need to have me versus Robo in Tetris. Just
Right.
for the simple fact that like we're gonna have Oliver coaching me, Robert coaching him, and then
I
we'll
love
go
that.
into it.
Shit, of course, that's right.
Go
'Cause,
left,
yeah,
damn it!
Why
yeah,
are you
Paul and Robo
stop
were the
spinning
commentators for
piece?
that match.
Stop spinning
Yeah,
it.
that's true. It was Robo and
Yeah,
Paul.
I
Wow,
forgot
I
Yeah,
about
because
forgot
I
about
jumped
that.
in there
Yeah,
late. I jumped in there late.
Yeah.
And me and Robo were just sitting there talking like, all right, so what do you think you need to do here? It's like, well, I think they just need to clear out that line of blocks. It's like they're really
That's
going
so
back and
great.
forth with it. Robert is really stacking them up pretty high. He's doing an interesting strategy where he keeps having the free block be in different spots, where Oliver has them all in just one big line on the side. Really a difference in strategy, methodology, if you will. We'll see how it pays off for him. And it was just that was all we did. Like we just were like, we don't fully understand what's happening, but we're here.
We should definitely do that again. That was so much fun. I love that.
It was, and like, yeah, and it's sort of like, I mean, even as recently as literally like this week, I was playing like Tetris on stream, and it's really good fun to play. Like I've said, like, I've been like quite candid with it on stream and said like I would quite happily become like a Tetris streamer, and I would happily do that every time I stream. The only problem is playing Tetris, it is impossible to also like monitor chat. Like,
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah,
see,
like,
that's the best though, because then you're just talking. You're not even really understanding what you're saying. Words are just leaving your mouth as you're
Stream
going.
of consciousness.
It's just stream
Yeah.
of constant. That's where the whole camp counselor thing came
that's
from, wasn't it?
that's what I was like. I will hang on one sec. Like, I'm gonna grab the shirt because
All right,
there is probably Oliver Tetris merchandise.
Subtle plug.
Pluggy plug.
Plug. I mean, look here. I'm just gonna float it out there. If you guys want to do a co-op on the rocks, where it's just us squaring off in competitive games, like Tetris, where but it's me versus Robo. But it's like we shouldn't be competing. It's like the opposite of who should be playing the games.
Yeah.
So it's like me and Robo doing that. I don't know what you and probably Oliver would be like, because I got to think of what the hell I'm good at in games to like be like, yes, I will coach Oliver into doing this properly, and just have you two, and it's just battling it out for no other reason than we're just gonna make fun of each other the whole time.
Yeah.
The commentators are just gonna be making fun of both people. Both coaches / commentators are just gonna be making fun of people.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing about you guys commentating, was that like you don't know much about Tetris. So it's just mostly just like improv off the top of the head, talking about random things. And I was like,
that was my favorite thing.
love
Like, because I think like Paul had clearly played Tetris before. I don't think Robo had ever played Tetris. He was
No,
like,
like I'm
there's
familiar with it, but I've
some
never
lines?
actually played it. So,
So
no,
good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've played Tetris, not at that level. Not at that level.
No, I never like had a system with Tetris on it like growing up or anything. So I've just played like variants of it throughout the years for like 5 minutes here. Like I had like a Tetris game on my phone for 2 minutes or what. But like that is a different level of Tetris.
Or it's just like, we have to. It's like, we're doing this, and you're stacking it all up. You're saving that thing on the side, but you just have a column, and I'm like, why aren't you just getting rid of the column? I don't understand. Oh, because you need to like get rid of all of them at one time. Oh, I don't understand. Why?
Like, but yeah, like I mean, and not just Tetris Effect as well. Like Tetris 99 is another big one for me. Like the Tetris Battle Royale on Nintendo Switch, which is so good.
Shudder to think how long it would take for me to win one of them. I shudder to think. Because you got like what, 70 or so?
This week I got my 70th win in Tetris 99.
So you got 70.
That's amazing.
I don't think I could play. Well, no, in the was it just Tetris 99 is what the game is?
Yeah.
So Tetris 99 is literally a battle royale mode where you just have people, and like people get knocked out as you go, and then like as you are clearing out lines, you can throw those lines to other people, and like and just mess them up that way. But
as you clear lines, you send lines to other people.
Yeah, so like me trying to get a dub in that would be the equivalent of like, I can't even think of it.
Get a dub.
Like I guess sure, we'll go with that. Robo getting a dub in Warzone solos would be
never happening.
It's like, sure. It's like we
No
would
offense,
need
Robo.
we would have me in there, we'd have Halesman Gaming in there, we'd have Snowbike Mike in there, and just the three of us hyping you up and just to be like, guys, I really appreciate the love and support. I'm just bad. But then again,
wait,
I think we could get it. We think we could get it to work because there's an individual, Britster. I was playing with her. I died, and I was watching her play. She wasn't aiming down sights. She was playing that shit like Halo, like the first 4 Halo games where she just wasn't aiming down sights, and I'm like, what? You mean to tell me every time we've played you have never aimed down sights? She's like, no. I'm like,
Love
Pray and
that.
pray, baby.
oh, oh no.
I will like on the final thing of Tetris because I will happily blow my own trumpet when it comes to Tetris.
Blow that trumpet.
As you
Tetris
should.
99, like so yeah, I have pulled up my Switch here, so we've got my Tetris 99 stats here. I have won 70 games of Tetris 99. I have played
Amazing.
699 games. So I have more than a 10% victory rate
That's really good.
at Tetris. That's
Same.
fucking awesome. Like
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Especially
Yeah.
Tetris 99, where it's like, it's crazy because I was not getting wins until I realized like I'm not playing it right. I'm playing Tetris like I play Tetris normally when it's just me. But you have to have strategy because you can choose what to do with the lines that you clear. You could attack the people who have a lot of like the power ups. You could attack the people who are close to death or whatever. Like there's a bunch of little like there's actually strategy, which is crazy to add
Mhm.
that strategy on top of regular Tetris strategy. It's wild. Fucking wild.
It'd
I
be
mean,
like that.
like just you saying that, watching you guys, it was sort of like what Paul was saying. Like, I didn't even realize there was a strategy to Tetris. Like, I mean, obviously there is now when you think about it. But I was like, I remember watching Robert like practicing for that, and I was like, why are you letting him? Like you were saying, like why are you letting him all stack? Like you just fucking clear him. Isn't that the
Like,
whole point of the
that's
game?
the
And then he would
point.
like
You
clear a
don't
bunch at
want
once.
them to stack. I'm like,
Oh,
Why are you
because I need the
stacking to the
super
ceiling?
combo. I need the super
Yeah.
combo. And it's like, oh, okay, sure, send it.
I need to send 8 lines, not 4.
Oh man,
No idea.
Fucking love Tetris.
fucking
Yeah, and this is as promised. This was designed by my good friend Malcolm Crab. This is the Probably
How
Oliver
cute.
Tetris 99 Tetris Camp Counselor T-shirt with
It's
me
so
hanging out.
adorable.
I know,
Okay.
right?
All
Look
right,
at those
I'm gonna.
guys.
Okay, 2 things. 1, I need the link to that in the chat right now, and 2, I need
Yeah,
you to
where?
send me that on Discord so that way I can buy it. I'm buying that fucking shirt. I'm buying that shirt. I have bought. I shudder at how much my wardrobe has shifted from like normal clothes to like just
Oh my God.
Twitch merchandise, where it's like I've got just shirts from people, and I'm like, why do I have this shirt? Why do I? Okay, sure. Because I was like, oh yeah, because I was in a good mood, and they were like, oh yeah, check it out, we got this new shirt. Support people. It's like, god damn it.
Yeah.
Gotta stop
In a
supporting
good
people.
mood and had money that day.
Yeah, in a
You
good
gotta
mood,
sh-
got paid. I was like, hey, you know what? Send it. Why not? Let's have some fun.
Big shout out to everyone who's making real good designs on their merch.
Good.
Like Paul, you have that one with stacks. That's a really good one.
Oh yeah,
Love that design.
yeah. The Judgy DM as he is called now because
He is now the judgy DM.
I love him to death. He's changed his name 4 times. I'm like, you son of a bitch! You got to stick with a name here. You're making it real difficult.
Who that was? Because I was like, so and so, Judge DM is live. I was like, when did I follow this person?
When did
But
I follow-
I follow so many people on Twitch now that happens all the time. Anyways,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just
It's,
drop
I
somewhere.
feel bad because it's always like, who the fuck? Oh, they went through a rebrand. Oh shit! All right, well,
Okay.
how
I
much
had
I'm
it
in here.
with Stacks / Judgy DM. Like Judgy DM raided me a couple of weeks ago and came in like with like a party of like 7 or 8 or whatever, and like was chatting in chat like for ages. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's raided me, he's chatting loads, he's not fucking following me. Who is this guy? And it was like the 10th message that he was like, oh yeah, it's Stacks, by the way. I was like, oh okay, cool. Okay, now I know. Okay, fair enough. Like
That's so funny.
Gotta love it. Yeah, he's Salty. A great guy, but yeah, he's my artist friend. He's done like everything for my damn. Let me rephrase this. All the original stuff for my channel was done by him. Like so, the FNHPaul, the tryhard, as we lovingly referred to him as when we originally created the character, was a comic book character that we had made, and I had just was like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna use this character here because it's Twitch and like you need a mascot because I thought that's how you make it. It's like, yeah, you just get a little mascot, little person. Like, I don't want it me because I'm just like, let's just do a little superhero character, easy. And like that's now been what it is. And so now they're like, oh yeah, that's just FNHPaul. It's like, yeah, send it. Why not? That's who that is. It's not, let's not get bogged down by like the volume of story that I wrote that will never come out as a comic book because we are far too busy, and we both procrastinate on on creative things.
Really good art though.
Yeah. Speaking of art, Robo, you put in there, which is in your background right now, these goddamn Pokemans. What the fuck?
The goddamn Pokemans, indeed. That is for sure something that I did not think would become what it has become. Because when I first unlocked channel points on Twitch, I was just like looking around on like Reddit threads, like, what are other people doing for? I don't know. I don't know what
As
to do.
we all do, what thing can
Yeah.
we rip off to then
What
use
can
in
we
our own
do?
stuff?
And somebody was like, have people redeem that you can like draw something, just draw something. And I was like, yeah, sure, okay. I'm not really good at art or anything, but that might be part of the fun of it. And what is there a bunch of Pokemon? Okay, let's see if I can draw Pokemon from memory. And then like the first couple ones happened, and people loved it. I was like, why? They're so bad. They're so bad. Some of them are legitimately nightmare fuel. Because I just like I need you to know, like I feel like sometimes people see these and they're like, oh, it's like a bit, but it's like I am sincerely trying to draw these Pokemon every single time.
I was gonna say,
And
do we need to talk about version 1 of Mudkip? Not
Oh,
not your
God.
not your redos. Version 1 of Mudkip is just nightmare fuel.
There's
What has he done
probably
to my boy?
there's like 400 or 500 Pokemon in here now, and yeah, V1 of Mudkip is special.
And here's the thing, though, right? Like that's got it. At some point, I want you to sell that book. I want you to sell that. Just here's the thing, right? You could do that as a charity thing.
Yeah,
You could straight up use that as charity. Like the highest donor will get this book sent to them, which will just have all of that stuff. Because you got them all digitally now, right? Like you've done snapshots. Yeah. So like theoretically, if somebody wanted to go through and see the masterworks that are those Pokemon drawings.
I've got
That's
them
a
all
word
in a
for it.
Flickr gallery now, so you can just browse right through all of them online.
Just be like, okay, cool. Why is there 6 Mudkips and why are they all equally bad?
Because people being Robert Highwind wouldn't let me move on until I got it right.
Yeah, I think I redeemed it the same day. I think.
Yeah, I think it was Piplup. When
Yeah,
I
it
drew
was
it, and
Piplup.
I
You
had never
murdered
seen
him.
Piplup, so I just like guessed, and then like literally the next day he just redeemed it, and it just said "Fix my boy."
You can't let my man die like this. You gotta fix him.
How dare you?
How dare you?
So yeah, that's definitely a bit that I was just like, I'll just throw this on here, and now like people specifically save their channel points for that. It's merch of
you
it.
also okay. Well, here's the thing, right? So you have the Pokemon, but then you also have like Pokemon Plus, which is like another level of like, why would you do this to yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people started to redeem stuff that were like a little bit off the wall. Like I think somebody redeemed like Machamp juggling Voltorbs, and I was like, sure, why not? It's Pokemon. This is fun. What am I going to do? Would be like, no, I'm not going to draw that. So they started redeeming stuff like that. So it's like, I'll make a separate channel point that's like a little bit more expensive, and then you can have like Pokemon Plus doing stuff, whatever, and
which then turned into just like make FNH Frankie as an electric type, and it's just like what. And I was like, I love how you didn't draw like me. You just drew like what I think FPS Frankie would look like as a person. Like if we ripped that schizophrenic personality out of Paul's mind and put them down, what would they look like? And it just kind of looked like a big northeastern guy with lightning hands or some shit. Which honestly, probably not wrong. But
I think those are so funny, so creative.
Because like if you've ever tried to draw anything, there's what you see in your head, and then there's translating that to the page.
Oh my god!
And there's a lot of in between there.
What my expertly drawing hand can then translate to paper. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. And I do them on Post-its with ink, so I can't like erase things or whatever, which is how Mudkip V1 became so horrible, because I drew the face a little wrong and then tried to just draw big filled in lips to correct it, and it made it so much worse. It made it so much worse.
It literally does look like the Witcher like mud DM thingies or
Yeah,
whatever.
the
It looks
fog hag.
exactly like them.
Let me see if I can find it.
Crazy.
It's so bad. But like, what's funny is like, yeah, you're talking about that. Like, oh, trust me, I'm well aware that like I don't draw anymore because I say don't draw anymore. I don't do rough sketch ideas anymore because Judgy DM, when we worked together, I was like we were talking about doing something aircraft related, and we were talking about like doing some artwork for one, like for the because every aircraft gets like has a name and you can redo the artwork every now and again. And we were talking about it, I was like, oh, well, it'd be kind of cool, like, yeah, kind of like this. And I did a rough sketch, and he literally did one of these.
That ain't a sketch, dog.
He was just like,
The fuck is that?
he was like, that's what you're drawing. I was like, bro, it's a sketch in my work notebook that I take notes in with a pen. Fuck off. He's
Leave
like,
me alone.
that's whatever. Oh, there
God,
it is.
bro.
There it is. It's just
Disgusting frog, man.
Man.
hi.
Yeah, I went through a phase where I drew them all squatting. I don't know why. I just thought.
Mudkip will help. I'm
Just
sorry.
straight up
I'm sorry
Google.
for all audio listeners on that one. I feel like I spiked real hard.
You can just hear that Mudkip just
Yeah.
begging for its death. Please kill me.
And that's the thing. Like some of these look terrifying, and people are like, "More, give me more."
Because,
Do it
like, that's the
again.
thing. It's just so dumb, and that's the thing. It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I would, just to loop it back to another individual who I see. It's Purger. They redeem that all the time. I hate and love when he does his little list online about his just rankings. Hate it because half the time they're bad, but I love it because it's like it just gives me a reason to hate him more and more as the days go on. To be like, how are you putting this many things in S tier? Because they're all S tier. That you put 10 things in S tier. They can't all be in S tier. It's like, yeah, there's 10 things in S tier, one thing in A tier, and then everything else is like under 10 feet of garbage. It's like,
It's fantastic
why?
or shit.
Yeah, it's like, why? I think the best thing was he had one recently where he was talking about Pop-Tarts. And he was like, I don't like Pop-Tarts. The original Pop-Tarts like just make me sick. Like there's just so many bad flavors. A tier. I'm like, how does that translate in your brain? He's like, well, because the good flavors, like the really good ones, outweigh the bad ones. So the ones that make you sick, you said regular strawberry will make you physically ill. A tier. That's what you just said. Like, get the fuck out of here with your nonsense. But I love him to death. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Garbage at playing D&D, which you guys can check out on Dual Screens. Dual Screens. Dual Screens.
Let me roll for the jump.
YouTube.com/Dual Screens. Just let you roll for the jump. You know what? Honestly,
That'll never
like
die. That joke will never die.
That's the thing, right? I've gone back and I've thought about it, and I was like, I should have just let you do it. But then, because now I do a couple little DM things, and I've got another one shot I've been cooking up. Which Oliver, by the way, have you playing if we can make the time?
Please.
But
What's
it was one of those things where I was like, I'm looking back now and seeing how other DMs handle things and like kind of getting more inspiration from stuff. I should have let you do it, but announced what the DC roll would have been. As in, like, I should have just had you been like, okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna roll the D20. If you get below a 17, you fail. And I mean you roll a 17. Not like, oh, I add all my 13 points of acrobatics / athletics because I was brave.
Brain, I have strong thighs to lift me above the bad guy.
I could jump. Now, just to set the scene, right? So you were a Goliath, right?
Big boy.
So he was like a 7-foot Goliath running up like a 30-degree slope. So he was running up like a hillside.
Strong
There
legs
was
for
a
Bane.
7-foot Warforged, which for everybody who doesn't know D&D stuff, robot person. So there's a 7-foot robot standing up higher than he is, and he wanted to leap over the robot behind him to then punch. And I was like, you physically can't do that. He was like, I was like, I don't think you understand. You are weighed down right now by like a couple 100 pounds of gear. So even
Big,
that
strong boy.
even jumping with that, you got to like, suspension of disbelief there. But like to jump over a 7-foot guy who's already up higher than you, so like you're jump uphill and land on something like he wanted to front flip over him, and I was like, so the ground isn't level, so like jumping over a thing I might be able to let slide, but the fact that you were like this, you wanted to jump over and land, I was like, no,
Hold
you
up,
can't
D&D
do
is not
that.
anime? This
Did it
is an
work?
anime?
Is this not an anime? We just ran down a long hallway disabling traps the whole time. We fought a room full of bat people. Like, yeah, this is an anime now. We're here.
But did it work?
No, because I didn't let it happen.
Oh.
But then they did end up
Ah.
winning. They did end up winning that fight. Which that whole fight, I love how just like every time they got done with the fight, they were like, "Oh god, that hurt." Fountain of insta healing, fountain of long rest. Thank you for the drinks. Because I needed because when you're doing a one shot that was supposed to be 4 hours and then turned into like 9.
Lord.
It's like a 9-hour one shot. It's D&D. Like Robo knows. Like no session is ever that short, especially for a
It takes
one
you
shot.
4 hours to get to playing the one shot.
Yeah, but that's now. See, but now I've learned. Don't let people make such high characters. You start baby characters. If you're doing a one shot, just keep it baby characters. So that way, it's like you ain't got to worry about a lot of powers, especially when you get new players. You ain't got to worry about it. They just like, all right, level 3, get like a somewhat superpowers, but you're not like supposed to be god tier yet. And 2, keep that shit simple. You don't need to have 17 big boss fights with 12 enemies per boss fight. All right? No, don't need that.
Every
You
room we
can.
entered. Boss fight.
Yeah, it's like well, because that was the thing. It was supposed to be like 3 boss fights, finished by like a Calypso, or not Calypso. What's his name? Yeah, it's Calypso from Twisted Metal-esque bad guy at the end who's like, "Grant you your wish because you competed in my games," and it's just like, all right, what happens? And then so like everybody did their thing. And it was like, all right, cool. And of course, in true Calypso Twisted Metal fashion, he twists what you say. And it's like, oh, you want to live forever? All right, cool. You will live forever playing in my games. And then now you become one of the people sitting in one of the rooms in the games. Oh, I wish to, be able to be free from all my things. Cool. You will be free in my games. I wish for peace. Oh, you will have peace by sitting in this room in my games. I wish to have your job. Shing. You can try to fucking take it.
Boss fight.
Yeah, well, that was the boss fight wasn't gonna. They weren't gonna win. I think they were level. What I have you like level 8 or something, like level 10 maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
He was like a level 20 character with four like super hard bosses with him. I'm like, he was like, oh, I could have won. No. If they would have hit you,
over him.
If you jump over.
you could have jumped over him. You're not jumping over the like Tarask or whatever the hell I made. I was like, you're not jumping over the dinosaurs that I put down there as well.
No.
They would have all they would have had to do is corner you or surround you, and then it's just bully. But anyway,
I'm Bane, though.
but I'm Bane as you fell trying to push open the door.
But that's the thing. If you're backed against the wall there, Robert, you could just run up the wall and then backflip over them.
And then backflip over them and then run away. But you're in a room that's sealed, so like you're just running.
See you
forever.
later, losers.
See you later. 30 feet of
away.
movement. It's like as he's like, all right, cool. Cast a spell, and now you can't move. All right, hey everybody, just bully that guy.
Get him.
Oh no, I've made a mistake. Sorry,
But I jumped so high.
I made a mistake. All right, we've got a little off topic on that, but as is
Big
the way
left turn.
with the
That
South
jump
on the
was a
rocks.
bit that didn't work.
Yeah, it was exactly. That's something that didn't work.
Yeah.
So, Robert.
Yeah.
You are a man who has gone through a multitude of bits.
Sure have. I don't stick to one thing, as you can tell. I do many things.
The only thing that has stuck around is the couch. I think the couch is the only thing that has stuck around.
Yeah.
But like, what is a bit that is like that you didn't think would land but landed in like just expertly, just 10 out of 10 stuck the land.
Oh man, that's tough. I feel like I run through a lot of multitudes of things and goofs, mainly because like I have like a list of ideas, and then like when I have the time, I'll try to implement one to like the standard that I'm trying to hit or whatever. And then if it doesn't work, I'll just scrap it quickly. Like if no one's laughing, if I don't think anyone's laughing,
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's garbage.
Like I added a channel point for face zoom, and I was like, well, I already do that occasionally. I'm like, whatever. Shing, gotta get that out of there. If I had to pick one to say like, did not think that would land. Man, probably Batman. Just it's so stupid. I don't even do the voice good. Sometimes I'm not even in a Batman voice. Sometimes it dips a little bit into Bane.
Well,
But like for some reason that's stuck, and it's like you don't even see my eyes. It's just his mouth. Like it was the most laziest like little cutout, and I'm just like I'm talking about things, and it's like, it's funny enough. And then
I
I
won't
didn't
lie.
know.
I
Yeah,
copied that. I copied that with I was doing Macho Man. I just took
yeah.
Macho Man from the Spider-Man movie. Like boom, so it's ready. And I did that. I zoomed in real close on it, and it was just my mouth. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I got
There's
you for
something weird,
3 minutes of playtime," which is so much harder than you think it would be. Because I'm so used to being very expressive with my eyes and my face.
Yeah,
Trying to be just expressive with your mouth
just the mouth. Yeah.
is so much harder because I'm like doing crazy eyes, even though all you see is this. Like you can't see
Yeah.
any of
Feel it.
this,
We
and
feel
I'm
it, though.
doing crazy eyes. It's like
That's why sometimes you'll see me like it's just, and I'm like, just do weird faces, and I'm like, you don't like it when I smile?
What I
Like I
love
don't know what
about
else to do.
Batman Goof too is that it's now morphed into like you have something like that for like like the Pokemon where it was
Yeah,
you
I did the
cut out
Pokemon eyes
Blastoise,
and the mouth.
or like
Yeah,
the Big Daddy from BioShock where you cut out
yeah.
some of the holes in the suit till it, I love all of the variants and
I'm the
offshoots
Big
of that.
Daddy. Whatever the hell. Like there is a certain level where I, in my head, think the bit will work because I find it funny, right? I'm always that's what I gamble on. I'm like, I think it's funny, so I think other people should think it's funny because I think I'm funny. And then when it hits, I'm like, cool, that was funny. But then sometimes it doesn't hit, and you're like, whatever, you move on. Like Mario Highwind could have gone either or. It could
oh
have
my
been a complete
god,
disaster,
Mario
or it
Highwind.
could have worked beautifully. And I think somewhere in the middle, that's where we landed.
It
Like,
worked. It worked very well in my opinion as a viewer. It worked very
Mhm.
well in the sense that it was like, what the fuck is going on? Because
Yeah.
you didn't just change, like you didn't just like do a stream. You didn't just like goof around with it on Twitter. You changed your name on Twitter to Mario Highwind. You like
Change your
Commit to the bit.
bios.
changed your bio, your font nonsense, like everything morphed.
When you were in other people's chats, you were still typing. Yeah,
That's
it was
the thing. You were still like you would pop into mine just being like, somebody,
Wahoo!
wahoo.
Hello, Pop.
I mean, like
Robert is
Mario
dead.
Highwind might be one of my favorite like bits I've ever seen on Twitch. It's like,
Thank you.
and like because of like time zones and when Robert streams and stuff, I very rarely get an opportunity to like like I think like the last like 4 times I've managed to like come into like Robert's channel and be like, yo, what's up, Robert Highwind? He's like, yeah, we're raiding right now. Like, and I'm like,
Oliver, get
oh,
in.
okay, cool. I guess we'll go watch someone else now instead. Sweet. Like but like yeah, so like I rarely get a chance to watch them. So like Mario Highwind, I was totally unaware of the build up to Mario Highwind, and the first thing I saw of it was the Twitter video you did, like building up to it, and like the kind of the breakdown of Robert
Yeah.
Highwind, and I remember watching it and just going, holy shit, this is so committed to the bit. This is
Like I'm just
just
I'm just gonna hang up the
incredible.
towel. Just gonna
Yeah,
hang up
I
the
was like,
towel.
why should I even fucking bother doing anything anymore? Because Robert Highwind has changed everything about it. Was incredible. Like that is like, and as well, like saying the Batman bit, because I always remember the first time I ever got a chance to like sit in on a Robert Highwind stream was, I mean, would have been probably, I imagine, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning your time, and you were editing a
Probably.
video on Premiere of Batman shilling Screwball whiskey, and
Yeah.
you
I
were
am so glad you brought that up because that was literally my next point. I was like before we move on to you doing another bit, we were talking about your Batman screwball. Why?
Batman loves screwball.
like
Get
you could,
screwed.
like you could tell just how like over, like firstly how tired you were because you had clearly been going for quite a long time, and to this
I
point,
remember those
Yeah.
like
and
2
like
a.m. streams.
again, it was
Those are
it
rough.
was literally the first time I'd ever seen Robert Highwind stream, the first time I'd ever interacted with Robert Highwind in any way, and I was like, this is brilliant. This is as far as I'm concerned, a very tired man editing a video about Batman drinking peanut butter whiskey. It's the peak. It's the peak. Where do we go from here? The internet is delete it now. Like we've peaked.
Dude, like this is what I mean. Like, it's like you guys make the people that like you guys that enjoy it, like validate the bit working, because like I could think it's funny, but then if no one else thinks it's funny, then it's like I like there's a level where everything I do I find funny, and I always question whether or not is it
Is this actual
truly
funny, or am I just crazy?
Exactly, or is it just my dumb humor in my own dumb brain? But like you guys think it's funny, so I'm like, these are my people. They get it.
These are my people. They understand.
Yeah, like you guys
Mm-hmm.
get the dumb humor of that, like, and so like that motivates me to do more and better. But I'm pretty sure I peaked with Mario Highway, and it's all downhill from there.
Well, I loved the Batman bit because when you did the video, you didn't
Mhm.
just have like, "Hey Batman, I drink screwball, glug 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 glug." You did that, but then you also like did the Batman villains, but they had
Yeah.
like screwball. I remember Two-Face because you literally just split it and you did like a negative version, and I was like, "That's so dumb." But it
It's so
works
stupid.
so fucking well because that's essentially all it
Yeah.
fucking is. Like that's all it
Yeah.
is, and it's just like, yeah, the villains of Gotham have gotten free. Lucky for them, they're about to get screwed.
I
And it's
think
just
that's one of
like,
the things that makes these bits so good is like with the Batman one, it's like you literally just have a picture of Batman and cut out the mouth. Like it's not
Yeah.
like there's some crazy production. You didn't get like a face change app or whatever. Like it's just this is what it is, and it's the simplicity that makes it just
Yeah.
go to
I gotta
over.
find Gordon because I gotta get the criminals back in order.
You want to drink something, Gordon? I got it in my bat belt.
Look, I even brought a little mini bottle for you, Gordon. Let's get screwed.
It's just so dumb. But like, that's why like
Screwball. Why are you not
you know, this is
man?
that's the first way I figured out that you could do Bane's voice with a cup. Like I was drinking a mug, like from a mug, like when the movie first came out, and I started talking into it, and I heard the reverberation of my voice, and I'm like, why does it sound like Bane?
You do a bad English accent mixed
Yeah.
with talking into a shot and or just a glass. The pint glasses I feel don't do as well. You need like a tumbler, like you're like this, a
Mhm.
coffee mug, or a shot
Yeah,
glass.
you're a
And
little
it's just
small.
I was born in the darkness.
See, look how perfect that is.
I didn't know light until I was already a man, and by then it was only bright. And then break Batman's back, and he's fine by doing push-ups.
Yeah.
How do you
Also,
fix a broken back? Push-ups.
That makes sense. Doctors have subscribed it.
I am
but yeah,
Dr. Bane.
it's hard for me to like really answer like one thing that I didn't think it would hit, because I truly kind of don't think anything will hit until it does, and then I use it until it's dead.
Okay, I'm gonna say this as nice as I can. I'm so happy
Right.
to hear that, because the simple fact is like the amount, because I feel like everybody does this. Anybody who does content creation, they're always like, oh, you know, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna like fuck around with this. But it always sucks whenever you're like, I got this new thing. It's gonna totally be awesome. It's gonna be funny as shit. Fucking nope. People
Dies.
hate it. Or like it's not even that people don't. It's like you get it in between. So like people don't hate it, people don't love it. FPS Frankie is the best example I have of this. People fucking hate FPS Frankie. FPS Frankie, for anybody who doesn't know, is I wear these I bought Pit Vipers because I'm a fucking jabroni and fall in line with everybody else as we do these dumb bits. I bought Pit Vipers. And instead of doing what I thought I was gonna do, which was like, hey, son, how you doing? Yeah, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna head out on the ball diamond, and you want to make sure you gotta keep that back elbow up. You know, just being like that dad, that little league dad who takes things too seriously. Instead of doing that, what I decided is that I was like, let's just do an essentially a parody of Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's like, it can't be FNHPaul. It can't be FNHPaul because that doesn't work. But I was like, what? Oh, FPS. And I was going to do a new Northeastern accent because I have a leopard, as it is properly pronounced, not leopard, leopard print. New York, like, NY hat that I bought offline. I was like, okay, so it's Northeastern. I need a Northeastern name. Or like a New York Bostonian name that I could throw an accent on with. I was like, FPS Sal? That could work. FPS Frankie. There we go. Keeps with the Fs. It's fucking perfect. And then I just do it, and it's just like the most over the top / like socially awkward thing where it's just like, ha ha! FPS Frankie in the building! Yo, let's fucking go! I got hype in my veins! Air horns! Hit like an air horn button to actually do the air horn, but it's just like, ha ha! I don't, this. I live rent free in your mind, like I live rent free in my mom's. Ha ha! Air horns, and it's just the dumbest
That's a good line.
shit. And it's just like, that's all it was just like nailing this character. And the voice, like, what sucks is the voice itself is terrible. Like, anybody from the Northeast of America, like the Boston, New York area, like, what the fuck voice are you doing? Because that's not, no one sounds like that. There is not a single person who sounds like that in this area. But it's, you're claiming it. It's like, East Coast, Beast Coast, ha ha! These West Coast softies out here, they don't know shit. Well, the laugh is just Andy Samberg, shy Ronnie. That's all it is. So it's like, that's all that fucking laugh is. But it's like something that doesn't make sense. But the reason why this bit works is because there's some people that love this bit. There's some people who despise this bit. And that's why it works. In the similar thing, like when we do, like, talk about wrestling, right? And you talk about being the heel.
Yep.
You just need a reaction from people.
Yep. 100%.
It does. If it's a good reaction, awesome, send it. If they fucking hate it, awesome,
it still works.
Send it, because because what you're doing is you're still getting engagement. The middle of the road is where you don't want to be.
100%.
You don't want to be like oh yeah, he's there. Oh yeah, like I remember him. Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah.
You don't.
I guess he's doing this bit.
Yeah, the worst thing you want is he's all right. The last thing you want is like, it's all right. Like, that's the worst bit. That's the worst, like, response to a dumb bit that you can get. Like, dude, I fucking hated Frankie. Like, the voice was just like, I can't listen to that for an extended period of time. Like, it just makes my ears start to bleed. Or it's like, dude, I love that fucking bit. It's so stupid. The laugh, the hat, the leopard, like the hype into darkness, where it's just like, ha ha! Yeah, my teacher said I can't. It's like, who needs a college degree when you got these, GED? Or no, it was fuck. Oh yeah, no, that's what it was. Who needs a GED when you're an affiliatee? Yeah, air horns. It's just like the dumbest, stupidest shit. It's like, why? That doesn't even work. Like, like, you tried so hard to make affiliate fall into line with GED. Why? It's like, because that's this character. That's this dumb, over the top, ridiculous personification of a character.
Yeah. Indifference is the death of comedy. Like, you gotta love it or you gotta hate it. Both are good. Because if you hate it, you could just veer right into it and make it funny in its own way. Like the whole meat thing that I had for a while. Like, some people just hated that, and I was just like,
I apologize and I don't apologize, because I remember dropping the salty biddies because you just were like,
that was a great one. And then we had the whole bit Goofs,
like the Mario bits. Like salting the meat. It's just like, I was like, oh, we're salting the meat, and like every time, it didn't matter how many bits I had. It was like, I would do 69 bits, but 69 salty biddies. And on Twitch, you can do 63, I think, by hitting the salty bits, like the 1, right? And so it'd always be like 62 salty biddies, and then like 1 of 7 salty bits. Like, it was always be one at the very end that was like 7, because I couldn't make it all fit as 69, which, is understandably so. But it was just like, that way, whenever Mario would be doing this, instead of it just being like one thing, it would just be like 63 things, it was just falling
salt on a little.
Yeah, that was perfect.
It's like, we're seasoning the meat. Salty bitties. Like, this steak might be over salted, but fuck you.
Yeah,
God,
good times.
it's just
Good times with bad bits.
bad bits. Something that I
The
didn't think.
lesson is just real quick. The whole lesson of all bits is committing to it.
Committing to it. Don't
You got to
have
put your heart into it, because if you're half-assing it, everyone else is going to half-ass it. No one's going to care. But if you're going all out on it, at least like you'll sell some people on it, or some people will totally hate it. Both are good, but you probably won't hit indifference if you're 100% in on it. You know what I mean?
don't
Commit to the bit,
half-ass
2021.
anything. Whole ass everything.
Yeah,
You
big
gotta-
whole ass.
You gotta whole ass it, right? And so what's great about that is it rolls into the one I'm talking about, which is me doing accents. I do random voices from time to time. Some of these voices fairly spot on. You know, you have your Eastern European, your hello, I am FPS comrade or FNH comrade. Do not ask questions. Who are you? I'm here to spread good vibes and love to the people of the interwebs. Do not ask questions. Do not ask where I come from. Just know that if someone comes knocking at door, you didn't fucking hear anything. Okay, you had a great time. So let us begin. But you have like dumb voices like that, and then it's just, and even then it's like I run through a gambit of voices, which somebody said like I should just I should have a channel point thing for like an exorbitant amount of points. That's just I try to talk in all my different accents at one time. Like I just do a rainbow of accents where I just start talking in one and move. Yeah, I thought I was like, I tried doing it once and I like almost broke my brain of like trying to curl all of the accents around. But like the one bit that stuck and that I had to get rid of strictly because I couldn't like maintain the bit was the FNH Cowboy. I keep saying FPS because we started talking about games, just invading my brain.
I do want to see FPS Cowboy and FPS Combat.
FPS Comrade is too close to FPS. God, he was an old YouTuber. FPS Russia, where it was just a guy who had a bunch of guns in Georgia. It wasn't Russian at all, but he just had a bunch of guns in Georgia, and he would just shoot guns, and he would like do like, oh, you know, we have Scar here, we shoot watermelon, and he was just like, he would just do a bunch of different shit. That was the thing though. He had like he ended up getting busted by like a lot of people. Well, not even busted. Like the government stepped in because they were like, yeah, you have like way too much shit out here. You had like an artillery and a mortar fire, and like this was back in like the older days of YouTube, like 2010 to 2014 maybe. And like since then he's dropped that persona and is like I guess gone on to do other stuff. But yeah, that whole channel kind of got like, all right, we're just gonna step away from this because like YouTube's like, you're like shooting a lot of guns. We can't be having that as one of our like higher YouTube channels.
Sir, are you a branch of the military?
No, he's just
by yourself.
He was just a Georgian who could rent stuff out in this plot of land out in the middle of fucking nowhere. But it's just like me bouncing between these axes. But FNH Cowboy was something that was so dumb and started because of another dumb game that I played that I didn't think would actually hit, but it did. Dream Daddies.
Oh yeah.
Dream Daddies hit, and that was a thing for a hot minute where it was just like it was on hump day, it was just every Wednesday, just Dream Daddy. I'm in a game that is probably 8 hours long, stretched for like 3 fucking weeks. I somehow was able to milk that game for like 3 fucking weeks.
Great game.
And it was just so ridiculous how I was able to do that. And like to the point where like Unending Thirst is a thing that's like in my Discord. And it's just like there's a clip of me dying laughing, talking to one of the dads and just being like, your unending thirst will be your downfall. And I was like, your unending fucking thirst. It was like, what the fuck? And it was just like how ridiculous all this shit is. And it's just like the FPS Cowboy was just doing the dad tips from that game. And it was like, I had a dumb background that I just found. It was just a Western background. A fucking, I don't even know where I put the hat anymore. It's up there. A dumb, over-the-top American flag cowboy hat. It would just drag my camera into frame.
That was my favorite part. Oh my god.
You're muted. Ollie, you're muted. Ollie, you're muted.
Yeah, the bouncing across the screen was
Because it was
Beautiful.
just me doing like a
It's
bad
so
Monty Python,
Yeah.
where it was just like,
I fucking loved it. I'm
just
a
like,
sucker for like
are you
dumb
two coconuts?
green
Are you
screen
just taking
shit.
two coconuts together? How did you get a coconut up here? It's like that's what it was, and it was just like, and I would just well, hello there. Here's Cowboy here to give you some more cowboy wisdom.
The
Today my
wisdom things
wisdom
are the best.
is remember to check your car before going on a long road trip. I know what you're thinking. I drive this car every day. What could possibly go wrong? Well, when's the last time you checked your tire pressure? Even checked your dipstick oil? We're going on a long road trip. You want to make sure your vehicle's in good standing order. Last thing you want is to be miles away from your home and have a breakdown. Don't ruin your vacation. Check your
Real
car
advice.
before you go. Until
It's
next
really-
time, sports fans.
Yeah, it
Have a
brings
good
a
one.
tear to your eye. It just
And then it's like you tip the cowboy hat, and it's the same shit of like just dragging the mouse and just.
The first
like-
time, I don't know if you did you do the movement thing as soon as you were doing these bits? Because I feel like the answer is no, and I've noticed it like maybe the third time or something like that.
I feel like I did it every time, but I didn't over exaggerate it. I would just slide it in. But I
Okay.
realized one day I fucked it up, and I like tried to
moved it upward?
slide it perfectly, and it just like went up in a little bit, and I was like, shit. All right, we're on a horse now. We're on a horse now. Because that's the thing, I'm not looking at the camera when I'm doing it. I'm like looking like I'm riding up, and it's just like,
yeah.
hello
Killed
there.
me.
And then it's
Just
just like,
killed
well, howdy, partner. Like, just dumb shit like that. And then, just riding away.
Loved
And
it.
it's so fucking dumb. And it's like that bit only worked because of how stupid that bit was.
Yeah,
Of like
exactly.
having a Western background behind me on a green screen. The dumb over the top cowboy. Because if I just had gone like, all right, someone redeemed the channel point. Okay, cool. Hi, it's FNH Cowboy here. Like that doesn't hit
Yep.
the same as like, all right, let me just zoom
Yep.
out of the game real quick, do this.
Commit to the bit.
Yeah, it's all committing to the bit.
Yep.
And
I mean,
it's
it's one of the ones that I need to go back to, like especially like listening to you guys like committing to the bit of like of Mario Highwind and FNHPaul and stuff was the flight sim stuff, like the flight
I
sim was
love the flight sim.
so much
Just
fun.
Captain Oliver, just like,
Those are
hi,
great.
we're going
The
for a
hat.
flight today. Like you
Because
had the
there
hat,
wasn't-
the suit.
I didn't even go for any voices. I just went,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm gonna buy a pilot's costume, and I
Your
bought
hat
a
is
pilot's
so good.
costume. It's I think it's just
As it tucked away, always at the ready.
it is tucked away, always at the ready, always staring at me. But there was the pilot's hat that was just beautiful. That was
so
always
big.
just always
Yes, with the
perched on top of the
headphones.
headphones. There was
Yeah.
one of the things that never really got picked up on, but is one of my favorite parts of it, is there is a pilot necklace like medallion that I had.
Oh
that is
my
just
god.
just a
What the hell?
little bronze airplane on a chain. that
Nope, I
just,
definitely didn't pick that up. 'Cause, like that's like there's so many like dumb bits like that where it's just like like you put it on the back burner, you move it away from certain stuff. Like there's been times where I tried to make FNH Cowboy. Like there was probably a good week to 2 weeks where anytime I did anything, FNH Cowboy was there. And like when I was in other streams, like I remember being in the Hellsman Gaming stream, and I was just talking in that accent for no reason whatsoever. And people were like, "Okay, hang on, which one's the real accent? Is like you talking on Twitch real? Is FNHPaul real, or is FNH Cowboy like the real accent you've been fucking with this whole time?" Because I know there's a few people like Reavers Pass, JD Neal are the two that jumped to my brain right away, who fucking hate and love FNH Cowboy because they're both from Texas, and so like. Because that's all I'm doing. I'm doing the Arthur Morgan romanticized Texan voice.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
The
I
classic.
fucking
Yeah.
hate you. Right. Well, you see what problem
Don't
was
move your
that,
mouth. Just your
you
teeth.
gotta what I realized is you gotta like kind of talk out of this part of your mouth. Well, you see, the problem is that you came over here and assumed that I would, well, have a fair fight. I came here to win. Last I checked, well, street fight's a street fight.
So it's also
Sand
in the
attack,
eyes.
and then yeah, sand, pocket full of sand, and then you just
Pocket sand.
which
Yeah,
only
the-
work, which doesn't work against Robert Highwind due to the glasses. It's always a protection.
Whoosh. I also have those squeak, 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 squeak.
Use splash attack. It was ineffective.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
I know, like, because again, like with the flight sim is the only thing I committed to with that bit is the moustache, because that's the only reason I have a moustache. Like anyone
Here
who
it
was
is.
around in like the first like 2 or 3 weeks before I started flight sim like on Twitch, I had a full goatee. Like I had a goatee, and then like for the first flight sim, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna shave the bottom half off. And we're gonna keep a moustache, and the moustache is stuck around. Like it's I can't get rid of the moustache now. The moustache has to stay forever.
I'm not gonna lie. I never knew you had a goatee. I jumped into your channel long past the goatee. Like I didn't know you ever.
I only
Part of me
know you
wants
with
to
mustache.
see it, but part of me doesn't. Part of me doesn't
No,
want
it
to. Like
was
part of me
it was
doesn't want
horrible.
that.
Like
Don't
I had
show me
like a full like bottom bit here, but
Yeah.
now it's like fuck that. I can't ever have a goatee again. I need to keep a mustache.
It's either a mustache.
You were a pilot.
Here's the thing, right?
It's a
We have
pilot.
we have such difference because Robert, do you like how often do you shave?
Now I shave more often because my co-op comedy character has no beard. Robo has a beard, so I'm trying to stay on brand of not having any facial hair.
Grow your beard. I'll draw a beard on. It's fine. Don't worry.
I don't even. I
I
can't
want
even
it
grow a
in
good
paint.
beard.
I want it in
Full
paint.
disclosure.
You're
Photoshop.
gonna-
Yes.
Like I can't grow the cheeks. You could kind of see my like stubble coming in. There's
Yeah.
a whole empty patch right here,
Yeah.
right here. I have like a poor man's Keanu beard, so I just shave it or
I have a
trim it.
friend
Keep
that
keep
if he
stubble.
grows in his beard, it grows in like a swirl right here. Like it'll
Oh,
grow
he's got the
like
old
a
swirl.
cowlick sort of thing, but like right on
That's
That's
the
the wizard
so,
swirl.
the wizard swirl. He's magic. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, right? So like I can't grow a beard because of my job, but B it's like I can grow like the goatee area. I can get a little bit going here, but like yeah, same shit. Like nothing on over here wants to grow. Here, got
Peak
it.
bros, high
Here,
five.
no, thank you. Yeah, fucking. But it's like I've debated on doing. I've done a mustache occasionally for like No Shave November, mustache March, da da. But I have debated it of just going with a mustache and going with it. But then me and Oliver are just merging into one person. Like it's already started with the Hawaiian shirts. If I grow a
Look at
mustache,
these boys.
it's just gonna be probably Paul and FNHPaul at some point, and then it's like
PFP, baby.
it's just
Mhm.
we're gonna merge into one person.
We'll
like
do a little like when we do nostalgia live, which is coming. Soon.
It is in the docket. We just need to sort that out of when we're gonna do it because I'm also like, okay, so we're gonna do it. What am I gonna? I'm gonna have to bring. I'm probably gonna bring not my entire setup, but my camera, my mic, and probably my light just in case. Just in case. I was like, I'd rather bring too much to that than not enough because then it's like, ah, shit.
But
How do
we
we
can
do
do
this?
a little skit of like we'll like form of FNH Oliver.
That is just
I also just
Vegito versus
noticed
Gogeta. Like,
I also just noticed that in our two groups, like me and Paul both have like full camera with like lighted backgrounds, and then both Oliver and Robert have like green screen. Just
yep,
chilling.
just there, just chilling.
Green screen bros.
Well, it's mostly because I don't get to show this often because when I normally stream, I
Cool
don't
setup.
like having I don't like having the background here because I feel like it takes away from the game because I want you guys to see as
You have a
much of
cool
the game as
background, though.
possible. But yeah, that's the thing. The flamingo was a joke gift that I got because they were like, "Oh, you wear his white shirt. Oh, you're on the street. Yeah, here's the flamingo." I'm like, I don't think you understand what you just did. I'm going to use this. So I've got like I got a light that I can't actually change that color. I can't change that color or this color. The red, the blue have to stay because I threw away the remotes to those lights. It is the
Smart.
Here's the thing though, right? I have what the problem is that I had a bunch of LEDs before I had the string lights. I had another thing of lights that I've since used and given to another person to use for their stuff. But the remotes I had 3 remotes. And I was like, okay, no big deal. These remotes go to these things. Turns out I gave the wrong remote to a person. So I gave the remote to my lights to the person I gave the little disc things to. The remotes that I have, that I still have, go to the disc, which do not contribute to these two lights going on at all. So I'm like, cool, they're red and blue. That works. And so like it still works with the flamingo because the flamingo being pink, like that works. And then I was like, nah, it's still fine. Mass Effect, Paragon, Renegade, it works. We're just gonna keep it. At least they're at least they're contrasting colors. They're not just like, here's green, or like, oh yeah, you have like like two gross colors, and it's like, well, we're stuck with these colors now, or I gotta rebuy those lights and the light bulb just to get the remote. I don't want to do. Don't want to do.
Oh, I've got like with Robo mentioning like the kind of the connection, like you and Robo like having like similar background, me and Robert having similar background. Paul, I'm thinking me and you, we start a YouTube channel. We play like games together. We call it Team Up Tickles.
Team Up Tickles.
That's a different channel entirely. That's not a game, bro.
Maybe not YouTube, maybe a different site, but you know,
some other hub of sorts.
Yeah, a hub.
Video hosting site.
It'll be in a hub.
You guys could be accountants.
Bringing it all the way back around.
That's how you do comedy.
Stream end. Like that's all.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
I did. There was a small part of me that wanted just to do a bit here where it was just like, like team up laughs. Like, yeah, we're here with a team up laugh crew here. And it's like, wait, no, what? Yeah, team up, no, co-op comedy. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, god damn it. Yeah, so the one other thing that I've had, a bit that landed that I needed to actually go away from, that I had to back up from in a big way, was the alcohol. I used to do shots on my stream so fucking much. I actually got the shot glass like away from my desk just to kind of move it away. Yeah, because that was the thing. It was a silly thing, but I realized I was doing it too much. Because even still, like I'll break the, we'll get a little peek behind the curtain. I never filled those shot glasses all the way up. Never happened. For the simple fact that if I were to do full shots every time, I would have died on stream multiple times over. There's still times
for every sub, right?
Every sub, gifted sub, 500 bits or $5 donation.
A lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
One of those ideas that sounds really cool when you're first starting out on Twitch, because you're like, what am I getting? Like one sub every so often? And then as people build up and you start to build a community, you're like, oh, this is
all the time. There was a time where there's two times in particular I can remember. Aaron Guard, the main man, had donated a whole bunch, and there was another guy called Skull Fan, who came into my stream when I was playing Mass Effect 3 back in the day before the Legendary Edition. This was like probably close to 8 months ago. Came in and was just dropping bits out the wazoo. When I say dropping bits, I don't mean like 10 bits, 20 bits. I mean like 1,000 bits, 1,000 bits, 5,000 bits, like an absurd amount. No, not to get me drunk, just because he saw me play Mass Effect, liked that I was wearing a Hawaiian shirt, liked the vibe. It was just like 10,000 bits. And I was like, excuse me, Skull Fan. Like, who the fuck are you, and why are you doing this to me? I was like, all right, well, fun fact, for every 500 bits, I take a shot. You just dropping 10,000 bits means that I take fucking a lot of shots. Oh, God. And so, like, I started to implement certain rules, like no more than 3 shots an hour, like, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, because, like, I had to start spacing it out a bit. And it got to the point where like this year, I think is when I kind of stopped having the shot redemption. Sorry about that. Somebody's talking mad shit on me somewhere. You never heard that? No, you ever hear that? Yeah, like when somebody sneezes, like somebody's talking shit about you. We're just talking about you. I just assume they're talking shit. So it's one of those things that when I moved away from it, and that's why I have Sippy Sip. because I can still do the alcohol and I still have like all the sounds for all the, like the scotch, fireball, all that stuff. Like, because I still like that stuff and it's still fun. But it was this point where I was like, dude, I can't keep doing this because, like, not even me burning through the alcohol, because I was burning through alcohol quite a bit, but it was like, this is going to start affecting my health in ways that's not good. Because, like, I typically kept it to mostly, like Fireball doesn't have a very high alcohol percentage. Malibu doesn't have a very high alcohol percentage. I kept it to I try to keep it to, like, very, like, not super high alcohol percentage stuff. But then every now and again, Amy Gills, the Queen of Ireland, fun fact, would introduce me to poachine, which is an Irish, like, moonshine. Fucking hell. I mean, it's like the Irish version of tequila, because it's made of potatoes, and it's just like, oh, man, and that hurts, but it's also, like, it doesn't taste that bad. But it's like, like, looking next to me right now, I still have the bottle sitting in here. It's Captain. I got black rum, tequila, poachine, scotch, fireball. Like, there's all these different whiskeys and different boozes in general. And it was like people were loving those bits so much, but I had to cut that bit because I was like, as I'm getting more and more into Twitch and getting bigger and bigger and, like, growing, and I want to start working with, like, brands and companies and stuff, having the stuff like party animals on my channel, kind of not a good look. Which I love party animals to death. That was probably when me and Robert were actually, like, our most, like, in sync. Because I loved that fucking video. It's like, brother, help me.
Oh, help me.
Long live the king. Ka!
That was 3 a.m. madness.
That was so
peak 3 a.m. madness.
But that was the thing, right? So, like, on your end, that's what you were playing. But then, like, anytime I played that game, I went back and looked, and I am like eyes barely open, struggling to stay. That's where ya bish comes from. Like, ya bitch was the thing that I kept yelling.
Right. You kept saying ya bish.
Like, get fucked, ya bitch. Like running drop kick, ya bitch. And it was like, that's where it came from. And then we, like, for some reason we made an emote out of it, and it was like, I can't have ya bitch be an emote, but ya bish. That works. Like, that can work. And, like, that's still an emote. Like, that's still a thing that I have on the channel. Exactly. And it's still, and the funny thing is, that's one of my most used emotes. Like, that is one of my most used emotes. Like, I see that, like, in other chats, I will see that in places, and I'm like, oh.
I'm going to remake that emote better, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then that was the funny thing. Robert just made it one day. He was like, yeah, ya bitch. And I was like, I can't have ya bitch. He was like, what about this? I was like, oh.
What about ya bish?
Ya bish. I was like, that works.
Oh, that's so
yeah, you
good.
you have some bits that, like, take hold, that, like, you're like, oh yeah, this is good, but it's not sustainable.
This is why, with the drinking and the shots, you implement a wheel-based system that only forces you to do shots 1 out of 10 times.
Uh-huh.
Sort of.
I don't trust wheels anymore, because that's where
no.
That's, you know why? Because that's where these motherfuckers came into play.
No.
Anybody who's been a fan of my channel for longer than a minute knows about the bean boozles. It was like a whole big thing, because I was doing it for, actually, it was around stack up time, where in September I was doing a sober September, because I was like, it's really good down on the drinking. And so I was like, oh, I'll move over to beans, because I stole it from Norza, because I was like, fuck it, he's using beans, I'll use beans. And of course, I go a little over the top with some of my reactions, because that's how you sell a bit. You don't, why react in similar thing in wrestling. Does the pedigree or does the Stone Cold does the Stone Cold Stunner actually hurt that much? Fuck no. Does Rock make it look like it does? Absolutely.
Yep.
Like, he fuck boom, blah, blah.
The
like,
Rock fucking glitches out anytime he
the
gets
The Rock oversold the Stunner so
just
much.
ragdolls.
Everyone else gets hit, falls back on their back. Motherfucker does a backflip afterwards.
Does a backflip, or does a backflip, lands back on his feet, and Stone Cold hits him again. Like, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, you gotta sell it. So, like, don't get it twisted. Sour milk, still trash. Dishwater soap, I despise with a passion. And that one's so bad because it lingers so long. But yeah, I oversell it because it's funnier that way. I was
Because
like,
wrestling.
if I was like, it's
I
dog
I-
food. That's
I'm-
gross. But no, you
I
gotta be like,
maintain-
oh god, oh god, dog
Like-
food.
like again, like as Paul shamelessly stole from Norza, I shamelessly stole from Paul with the beans. I got permission first of all.
Yeah, you were
I
like,
did-
hey,
I
are you
did
cool
ask
with this?
Paul.
I was like, yeah.
I was like, you cool?
I was like,
Um,
no, how dare you? Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I maintain. Which one is it? This one. Oh, I've dropped that one. But this one, the dog food one. The
God.
dog food one is like, anytime I accidentally eat a dog food one, I am not overselling the like reaction. That is a genuine. I want to sit here and cry.
I'll take dog food any day over dead fish.
dead
It
fish.
took me
Oh,
like
dead
24 hours
fish.
to get dead fish.
Oh,
That
yeah.
tastes dicks in your mouth. Because I did it for a charity stream, so I ate like a bunch of them in one day, and like literally the next day, like the next night, I was still tasting like dead fish. And I was just like, please.
Yeah,
I brushed my teeth multiple times to
I'm
eat
scared
food.
for September because I'm gonna have to buy more beans because that's one of the things I'm doing. I'm doing stack up again in September, and like when we hit a certain goal, beans get unlocked. Beans are getting unlocked at a certain when we hit a certain threshold, and workouts are getting unlocked at a certain threshold.
Ooh.
Oh, you're
and-
putting those together. Good luck.
That's the thing, right? And of course, it's gonna be September. I don't know how hot my office is gonna be, but I imagine it's gonna be boiling lava hot, and so I'm going to hate it. But it's going to be for a stream at the end of September, so I'm hoping by that point it'll be a little cooler. But the downside is my office facing like main road right here, so like I can't open it that window because as soon as I do, fucking everybody who wants to zoom, there's going to be a motorcycle like just coming through. Like no, yeah, it's like certain things like that is just fucking hell. It just random bits that take hold that you just don't expect would or you wish wouldn't.
Yeah. It's crazy.
People and like Robo, you can attest to this. Paul, you can definitely attest to this. People really like seeing you eat terrible beans, don't they?
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
what
yeah.
is wrong with people?
People
What
love
is wrong
seeing
with
you
them?
in pain. I can just
They're
wrap that up right there.
horrible.
They hate the fact they don't like seeing you. They like seeing you happy, but they like seeing you miserable way more. How do I
It's
know
real
this?
life nut
Actually,
shots.
for
Because
a good
fucking
cause.
yeah, especially when it's like for charity, where you can't really turn it down, where you can't just tell them to fuck off. Like, nah, fuck you, I'm not doing it. It's like, really, for charity, kids, think of the beautiful kids. It's like, fuck. Sure, all right. Boom. You know,
It's like I remember when I was younger that we had America's Funniest Home Videos,
yep.
and like Bob Saget would show like the stupidest clips, and the ones that I remember just keep winning were just some kind of dad getting a nut shot.
Little kid with a wiffle
Kid-
ball bat, like
Yeah,
trying to hit it
just
off the
something
tee
like
and
right
just
to the
bing!
dick. And everyone just dies laughing, and they win $10,000. Like people love watching people just get like hurt a little bit.
You
I
like
don't know
it.
why.
You like it when they
So
get
it's always,
hurt, but not
it's
too
always,
hurt. It's always
Yeah,
that. It's that
not real
fine
hurt.
line.
so it's always a shot to the dick that wins and gets like the most votes
Yeah.
and highest. I think I've got an idea for a new bit.
Yeah, dick
Yeah.
shot. Every 10,000
Add
bits
it
on
to the
stream, dick
wheel.
shot.
Every wheel spin, you got to make it like real tiny though. You have the shot. You split the shot. There's like one little sliver where it's just a nut shot where you just have, but you got to do it to where it's like I'm thinking like a Tokyo Game Show where it's like you step on like you have your feet like spread apart and then you like put your hand on a thing and you're just bam right in the dick. It's like oh god.
Have
Buy
like
a
music
Nerf
that goes
gun.
with it, like.
It's like
But
it's
be
like
a
you gotta-
millionaire in no time.
you
I'll be
gotta have-
making that ninja money.
you
I
got to be
won't ever have kids.
No,
like that's the thing. It's the best of both worlds. You don't have to pay for a vasectomy, and you get paid for it.
There you go.
But that's the thing, right? You have it. You treat it like every like NBC, CBS, Fox News like TV show where it's like suspenseful music building, and you're like, ah! Hit it, release, bam.
Imagine there was a way for like every 100 bits, a what is it? A crossbow like slowly gets pulled with every 100 bits.
my god!
And then when you hit 1,000, camera underneath the desk lights up.
So I remember Rooster Teeth did this for Extra Life. They have like it's a horse thing, but it's got a band that'll just hit you right in the fucking junk. But you sit on it like a horse, like a little like wooden horse. So you push it. So your feet are on equal sides of this thing. Your hands are up, and you sit down, and it's just like, all right, 3, 2, 1, and just this
There's
big
no
rubber
protection
band
there.
just pop right up into your undercarriage, and you're just like, oh,
That
and every
sounds so
time they
much worse
just
than it
drop,
said.
they just fucking drop, but it's all for extra.
Yeah.
It's for the big beautiful kids, and it's just like, oh god, and you just hit the ground, and you're just like, oh, that hurts. And
Good
it's like,
lord.
I don't want to know if I can buy one, because I know for a fact if I put that on the stack up thing, that would get redeemed immediately.
Oh yeah.
Like immediately, that would get. I would put that at a limit of like 5, and 5 would be bought instantaneously.
I'm saving up for it already.
I'm saving up for it already. I don't even want to look it up because I
Yeah.
don't want my Google search to be ruined. My search history to be ruined with that.
You're randomly reading an article, you scroll past, like, here's the nut shot. Remember this? Did you want it?
Nutshot horse rubber band thing.
Did you leave this on your cart? Come back.
It's in your save for later. God, it would
Good
just
lord.
be the fucking like, once again, would make a bunch of money off of it, would fucking hate myself for so much. I was like, there's no, I would say there's no amount of money, but there is for charity. There is an amount of money. I just don't want to. I don't want to say it because as soon as you say it, people are like, and
Can't put it out there.
Yeah, as soon as you say, and I learned this when because I got bullied by my community at one point with like subs and stuff. But I was like, oh, for 500 subs, I'll do a thing. And I was sitting at like, I was having a really good month. And it was like, I was at like 350 something, we'll just say, right? I was like, oh, 500 subs and I'll do it. Gifted sub, gifted sub, gifted sub. I was like, no. And sure as shit, they hit it. And I was like, I said 500 as a joke. Because at that point, I didn't even have 500 followers. I was like, I have more subs than followers right now. Do you understand how dumb that is? Do you understand how stupid that is? And it was just yep, fuck you. Here you go.
I have made that dumb claim on stream before, like with the charity stream I did recently, like when oh yeah, like, you know, this, I'm just doing this as a bit, but if we hit £1,000, I'll get the channel logo tattooed on my body.
Where? Yeah, which by the way, where is that at? Because I want to see it actually live.
That is on my arm right there. That is
Firefly logo.
Underneath the fireflies and the white pony. It is permanently scarred on my body. I can never rebrand. But
forever probably Oliver.
Yeah, probably.
Here's the bad thing. I've debated on stealing that for the stack up. For like, for an extended amount of money, but there's like, okay, do I go for my logo? Do I go for my classic logo, my new logo, or the Nostalgia on the Rocks logo? I ain't gonna lie, I love the Nostalgia on the Rocks logo. I love that fucking logo. Like, but then I was like, okay, hang on, that means I have probably Oliver tattooed on my body, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Right, where's my credit card? Like, I need to make a donation.
That's the thing, right? And I was like, honestly though, it's like, if I could get that tattooed, I probably fucking would. And like, if I would have to find
Oliver would.
But that's the thing, right? It's like, where? But then that's the thing though, where do I put that? Because on my arms, like, I have space. I have plenty of space. Do I get it on the shoulder? Do I just get it? Do I say fuck it, put it on the chest? Do I put it on the shoulder blades? Like, where do we go with that tattoo?
I think a try-hard tattoo would look fucking sick. Like,
and that's the bad thing. I was like, I could totally get that tattooed. But I'm like, do I want that tattoo?
Let's go.
Yeah, you guys see,
Paul.
you guys do that. Oh God, see, that'd be cool, but it'd also be terrible. I would have to rely on an artist to get that right.
Yeah, for sure. That's like $1,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of money versus like probably like, how much did you drop on that?
One of my best friends is a tattoo artist, so not much.
Yeah, well,
like, all my tattoos are done by the same dude.
It was a guy named Chris. He did it in the back of his house.
Oh no, he's a professional tattoo artist. Like, but yeah, I've never had to pay much for a tattoo. Like, I don't know what his hour rate is. I just know that I go in and he tattoos me, and I go, "How much do I owe you?" And he goes,
X amount of money.
Buy me a coffee.
Yeah, like so
Let me
so
hit
yeah,
you
but
in the
I'm
nuts.
really pleased with how it turned out. It's a lovely
It's great.
Yep.
he's done it well. Like
Yep.
but yeah, do it.
I was gonna say,
Do it.
well, because in keeping with the true, fake as fuck fashion, these two over here, they go like, oh, let me put a little, I'll put a fake tattoo. I'll put like Mario here, and you guys for your
People love
what was it,
those.
a way out tattoo? Your
Yeah.
way out, like you guys.
Yeah, boy.
I think it was Robert had a Twitch video where it was like, how'd the stream go? It was all right.
Pretty good.
It was
Just
pretty good. He turned around, it's just like tattoos all over the neck and the face.
I'm not
Now,
gonna
I
lie. I
might
looked at
do-
myself all tatted up. I was like, I'm pretty cool.
That's the thing, though. I will probably end up stealing that. I will probably end up stealing the temporary tattoo
Steal it?
thing, and then I'll have like
People
a real
really like
tattoo.
those.
That's the thing, right?
Really like those.
I would put that at a certain price point, and then if we hit a certain goal, that's when the real tattoo will happen.
Yeah.
But it was just like, yeah, real tattoo at like amount that I don't think we'd hit, that we might hit, and then like temporary tattoos would be like, oh yeah, you redeemed $30, like go for it. Like, all right, cool. Where do you want this? Oh, you want on my forehead? All right. It's gonna be the rest
Face
of the day.
fills up fast.
Yeah.
Robo, what I need to know, Robo, is how much do you need to raise for a version 1 Mudkip tattoo? Because holy
than you think.
hell.
Less than you think.
Less than you think, but more than I'm willing to.
Look, there's this. I really like board games and like group card games. There's this card game that we found that's like a voting game where you pull a card and it's like most likely to become president, and then everyone votes for in the group of people playing who they think would do that. And one of the cards was most likely to drink their own urine for the least amount of money. I won hands down. Nobody else even got about it. I was like, look, $100 is a lot of money. That's all I'm
$20
saying,
is $20.
right?
All right, that's all we're talking about.
It's $20 I didn't have before. So less than you think for that. Less than you think.
Oh God, yeah. We're gonna not revisit that hopefully, but I definitely want to sit down with y'all and kind of goof around and have some fun with it. Whether it be on co-op comedy, whether it just be here on stream, like the comedy on the rocks or co-op on the rocks needs.
Love it.
Just so that way we can, like I said, me and Robo facing off in Tetris, just so that way Robert and Oliver could just sit there and be like,
Commentate, be like, what the fuck are they doing?
You can see here that they fucked up real hard by doing this.
That'd be so slow. I'd be
like
Oliver, it looks like they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, you see it right now. All right, Robo was setting up a good thing, and he put. Why did he block that off? He had a perfect. He kept spinning it, saying like "wee," and it just completely fucked up placing it.
What we're seeing here is the technique of a man who is slamming his head against the controller. Let's see how that pays off.
It's like when you have somebody who plays chess and knows chess versus somebody who doesn't know chess, and it's just like he shouldn't be alive this long. He should have died long ago, but he just keeps making outlandish moves and has somehow managed to stay in the game.
Somehow, somewhere.
Yeah, but I would definitely love to do that. I know right now, another lovely individual by the name of Joe Medforce has also laid down the gauntlet of Mario Party.
Yep.
And we talked about needing to do a who's going to be the heat. I think Robert, you were one who were like, Joe, you understand you have to be the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And Joe was like,
listen.
he's like, yeah. I know. And I was like, I feel like Joe is a little too excited to be a bad guy. I feel like he's a little too ready to go to be the bad guy in the scenario.
For people who are like usually the good guys, positive, this and that, there's a side of them. There's just like I know because I feel like I'm like that, and then I tapped into it with Mario Highwind. There's a side of you where you're just itching to just be an asshole. Like you're just like, I'm fucking ready.
Classic villains in media, like Joffrey from Game of Thrones, that little fucking asshole. Like the actor that plays him, I've heard a super nice guy. Super nice guy. Like I feel like I hear the stories about that all the time. Like people that play these crazy villains are like super nice in person.
Everyone's just waiting to unleash that Joker side of them, just to let it out.
Just not because they want to, not because they feel like that's who they are truly, but just so that way they could just see what it's like,
Yeah.
Like when
Fine
you
with
go
it.
into a
Yeah.
restaurant, you just order something off the menu that's weird just to see what it's like. Like, all right, let's try
Yeah.
it. Let's see what happens.
It's the yin and the yang, you know. Even though you have that whole white side, there's that little black dot.
Yeah.
Everyone has that little black
And you
dot.
just want.
Sometimes you gotta
just-
drain it. You just gotta drain it, let it all out.
You just want to play. You just want to play.
Sometimes
the
you're in your
dark side.
car in traffic. Fuck you! So,
I
there's
love
always a
how
little
the
moment, you know
camera
what I mean?
fucking moved. You're like, fuck you, and the camera just.
Robert driving off the road.
Oh man, I think God. So I think that is gonna do it for us today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for being here. I cannot thank the co-op comedy duo, Robert Highwind and RoboDessert, for joining
Cheers
us
to you
here
guys.
on Nostalgia on the Rocks. But of course, we gotta end as we normally do, which is where the fuck can they find you two? So Robert, where can they find you?
Okay, so me individually, you can find me at Robert Highwind everywhere. I've managed to get my name everywhere. Twitter.com/Robert Highwind, Twitch.tv/Robert Highwind. If you want to go on Instagram, Instagram.com Robert Highwind, YouTube.com Robert Highwind. A lot of goofs everywhere, a lot of ha-has everywhere. That's me individually.
And then Robo, where can they find you?
Same RoboDessert everywhere. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok. All about the TikTok.
All about the
RoboDessert.
TikTok. Hell
All
yeah, hell yeah.
about it.
And then co-op comedy we can find. So tell me about co-op comedy. Just give me the elevator pitch for co-op comedy. One of you.
We're
Oh,
two
actually no.
of
I want both of you
At the same time.
say it to same time.
Okay. Robert,
Well,
we practiced
co-op
this.
comedy is a
A
Wait, stop.
channel.
I want every other word. Every other word. Let's do it
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
It's a good improv bit.
Yep, that's why I wanted. I was like, you two motherfuckers, I'm gonna make you work for it.
Co-op
Comedy.
is
A
YouTube
channel.
where
We
play
games
together
and
goof
off
a lot.
so much.
Those 2 words, you failed.
Un-
You failed.
He said a lot. That's 2 words too. So I took
No,
2
that's
words. It was
no, that's
two.
a lot. It's 1 word.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Blah.
But yeah, you can go to coopcomedy.com, COOP comedy.com. It'll take you right to our YouTube. Easy peasy.
Easy stuff.
And in June, we have an episode coming out every day. Truly, I think it's our best content. I feel like we've hit we've gelled a lot better with the improv and the jokes and the type of games we're playing. We got good series and we got good one-offs.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed. Like, I mean, I think was it today the like Stardew Valley of the Sea? Like, I was really enjoying that one. Like, yeah,
Right.
they're really good. They're really good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we didn't touch on. I'm gonna touch on it right here at the very end. The being a heel,
Mhm.
like the committing to a bit. This is kind of goes into like everything, whether it's whatever version of content creation you are, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, what have you. Like committing to the bit and being a heel. I have been a heel towards y'all's channel for no other reason than because everyone else was being super positive. In the
Yeah.
same way that Robert brought up
A1,
earlier,
it's
like
been great.
everyone loves this game. I'm gonna be negative about it. Everyone loves you guys, so I'm gonna be an asshole for
Yeah.
no other reason. So that way, there's a difference in opinion.
Fuels
Do
us.
you remember when you did that during Hellsman's stream? I popped in and then you were live playing with him and you went off on being a heel and Hellsman was like, oh my God. Like
Yeah.
he got concerned.
Yep. I vaguely remember that. See that, and that's the other problem is that I don't know if I play a heel poorly or extremely well, because there are some people who believe that I'm actually a terrible person, which is correct, but they think I'm being a terrible person towards y'all and that I actually hate you guys, and I'm like, no, but I have to do it for a bit because like it's funnier this way. Because if I was
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, I love these guys are great, it can only go so long.
play it
But
off.
being
It's-
like, you guys are, what I say? Now, bear in mind, the original post when you guys did the thing,
Mhm.
I was very much, I messaged you guys both, like in a group
Yeah.
chat on Twitter, being like, hey, here's what I want to say. Are you guys cool with this? Because the
Yeah.
last thing I wanted was to start something as a joke and then you guys like immediately take it as like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, we're starting this new thing.
Hey,
and then you come
man,
here
why
being
you
like,
gotta shit on us like
You're
that,
being
bro?
so
it's like,
mean.
yeah,
Jeez.
because that's the thing, right? It's not even like, oh, why are you gonna be so mean? It's more of like, dude, like, we're trying to start this new fucking thing, and you're coming here being a fucking troll for no fucking reason. Fuck you, dude. Like, because that's the thing. That is how it can be perceived. It's like, cool, way to be
Yeah.
a fucking troll. Like, thanks, we're trying to celebrate this thing, and you're just being a piece of shit. Thanks, bye. But I hit you guys up being like, hey, I have an idea for a thing. Are you guys cool with this? And you both were very much like, fucking send it. Fucking destroy. I believe Robo said destroy us, and I was like,
Murder.
bet. And so from then on out, yeah, it was just like, how do you, what happens when two failing Twitch channels merge together? You get one mediocre YouTube channel. Like,
It's so creative. It's so good as like the heel thing. You said something about like two sunken ships are merging and sinking together slower.
Yeah. Two
metaphors.
sinking ships have now come together, so that way they still like they could like trying to stay afloat. And it was
So
just
good.
like, yeah, these two are the fakest things since a fucking Twinkie. Like, just you guys being like, yeah, these are fake. Like, they're not actually friends. Like, when once the camera's off, they're like, yeah, fuck you. Like, I hate you. Like, there's that whole thing. Like, just keeping that bit going. And once you kick the camera on, it's like, yeah, we're such best friends. Yeah. As soon as the camera comes off, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, how did you fuck that up? Like, it was a like we scripted out this line and then you somehow managed to flub it. Like, did you even bother trying to read the Google Doc before we started this? Or are you just like fucking phoning it in like you always do? And like, that's always the joke that I want to perpetuate as you do, even though it's 100% false from my perspective. Like,
I just want to go
those
on
eyes,
record.
Shh.
Robo, don't tell him.
I just want to go on record and say, like, the thoughts of nostalgia on the rocks aren't all inclusive, and I think both of you are very nice boys. Like, I appreciate the stuff you make. It's good. Like, me and Paul, what Paul thinks,
and
it doesn't reflect on me.
Now the tumbler is beginning to crack. Soon it will break, and me and the nostalgia on the rocks will just become no more. Me and Oliver slowly divide over.
We made it 8 episodes, guys. 8 episodes.
Almost double digits.
Look. On the real though, right? I said this before when me and Oliver were sitting in chat. I'm surprised we've made it this long. Because it's not even like a matter of like, oh, like me and him being able to stand each other, because Lord knows like that takes every fiber of my being. But it's a matter of love you, Oliver. It's a matter of like, we did a couple episodes just on Twitch where we were trying to feel it out and figure out what we wanted to do. So, like, the YouTube stuff, yeah, we're only on we're still in single digits on YouTube. But the fact that, like, we did a few episodes on Twitch without that, and the fact that we do it every other week. Like, if we had done 8, like, every week in a row and it only hit 8 weeks, it's like, all right, you made it, like, a couple months, like, 2 months. Like, all right, cool. But no, we've been doing this since January. Like, January, I think, December.
No, our first one was before Christmas. Our first one was talking about Christmas memories of gaming.
So that's even more so. So, like, we're into June, and we're still doing this. And, like, for a Twitch thing where it's, like, started as a fucking joke, where Oliver said, like, I need someone to do a podcast so that way I can come on and talk about it. I was like, all right, here's the podcast idea. It's me and you. We talk about games, like, not necessarily new games, but just like gaming in general, where we talk about old games, new games, whatever, and we get drunk and we call it Nostalgia on the Rocks. And he was like, bet. And I was like,
do it.
Shit, can we do that? And sure enough, I looked up and I was like, Nostalgia on the Rocks. I Google searched it. I was like, is there any YouTube channel, anything that has that? No? Cool. Running it. And we sent it as that. And just to show everybody, some of the worst / best things can come out of a dumb joke on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And that co-op comedy.
Co-op
comedy, Nostalgia on the Rocks. And then probably, Albert, where can they find you?
Well, if you don't go to youtube.com/co-op comedy, you can find me at pornhub.com/teamuptickle. I think it was it team? I know,
Cut the stream. We're done.
Wrap it.
I almost had scotch come out my nose. That would have been so bad. We're
Did
done.
we
Gonna
go
go film
longer
an
than
episode
outbound?
right
Let's keep
now.
talking.
Good lord. Good lord.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And ladies and gentlemen, you guys can find me on twitch.tv/FNHPaul, twitter.com/FNH_Paul, Instagram FNH_Paul. And yeah, for fuck's sake, god damn it. God damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Nostalgia on the Rocks. I want to thank you guys so much for all of your time today. I want to thank Robo and Robert for coming in today and hanging out with us and talking about the Goofs and content creation and all that fun stuff. If you guys missed it live, you guys obviously are watching this on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/FNHPaul. We are going for 100 subs. Not already sub, please think about doing so. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for your time. And until next time, have a good one. Stay safe. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Cheers.